welcome to another day of Overwatch Champions Series. We're back here again for Japan. I'm Achilles, that's Wolf.
Yeah.
You know the deal. You guys been paying attention, you've been doing your homework, you've been watching the broadcasts. But, yeah, we're probably in for some more interesting gameplay here today.
Yeah, Namakuji brothers playing in the second series, so we'll see the Namakuji brothers play the Namakuji brothers composition, I imagine, or their second composition, which is also known as the Namakuji brothers second composition, where they just switch the Doomfist out.
Yeah, Nozzle just goes to the Doomfist because he goes, oh god, this really isn't working with the Roadhog. And then it looks a lot better for a period of time. And then they still, unfortunately, lose. We did actually have yesterday, I was over on Apple's co-stream, and we got to witness the Roadhog head-to-head between Nozzle and Docs.
That was really fun.
Unfortunately for Nozzle, didn't win that one out on Coliseum, ended up losing it. But maybe today, maybe it can actually be Nozzle time.
Yeah, it might actually be Nozzle time. This is the current Nozzle waiting room. But we have some good games before that as well. We're starting off with a 6-blow situation, which might not be great for Nyam, because Nyam might end up being our weakest team of the tournament. I'm not sure.
It's unfortunately kind of trending in that direction, given that they did drop the series to Namakuji, which is where their only victories that they've been able to find thus far, but here is the overall schedule.
Yep. I know there are some people who, haven't watched until now, tuning in today, because I see people in the chat saying, oh, it's my first time every time. We're like, oh, Wolf's back. I've been back for a little while, but yeah. This is the schedule, so we have two stages. Yeah. We have half the stages as NA and EMEA, which I think is a little bit rude, but to make up for it, we have triple the regions in one region. Does NA have, like, West Coast, East Coast, and, like, the Midwest? No, I don't think so.
Well, we kind of had that a little bit. We had, we did have our Atlantic and our Pacific teams in the Overwatch League. But, I think that we've kind of dropped that moving forward into the current iteration of Overwatch Esports. But yes, of course, we do have 3 different regions being represented. I mean, it's kind of a multitude, a little grab bag as well with Pacific, with multiple teams out and about, looking to see who's going to come out on top, because, of course, then we're going to have our Champion Series Asia. We bring the teams over and watch them square off against each other on LAN, inter-region play. It will be awesome to see if anyone can try to challenge Team Falcons.
Yeah, if you haven't been following, obviously, our best team right now seems to be Veryl, the team that's the most known. It's a really huge organization in Japan. 6-blow is my pick for second best, but Insomnia really showed up in a big way yesterday, so I think they're kind of a dark horse in this one. And Revati, again, kind of one of those teams that I think has a lot of potential. I think as the year goes on, if they continue to improve, they could be a real contender. Pandia also not too bad themselves. Namakuji brothers, they're unique. Hayabusa and Nyam struggling a little bit to keep up, and Arise. I think it's a bit early, but you were saying you thought they were pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean, it was overall a pretty strong showing from them, being able to pick up their first win. But, I mean, here's our map pool, of course. We do have a map veto system. So the way that this works is that everything is basically predetermined. The teams go ahead, they draft against each other with the higher-seeded team getting, 1-3-5, and then the lower-seeded team getting 2-4, I believe.
Yeah.
So they get some bans. And then we go back and forth like that, so on and so forth, yada, yada, yada. You get your map picks, and that's how everything functions.
Yep, these are the maps. So, Flashpoint only 2. That's just how it is right now, until maybe we get another map. As, there are some maps that I miss that we don't have in here, but like Route 66, which is my favorite escort map. But one day, the map pool will change. But this is what we have for now, just to make sure that the teams have a set pool they can practice so they don't get, runawayed, as we saw it back in the old days. Here are the standings. I think at this moment in time, 6-blow significantly below Veryl just because they haven't played their second series yet. They will be doing that in the first series of tonight, so they'll be able to catch up, and we'll see if they drop any maps, because that's really the competing point between them and Veryl right now, is Veryl dropping that one map. Means that if 6-blow actually go 3-0 this week, they could actually take first place. Yeah,
I mean, I think, I'm not fully sold yet, but I think with the performance from Insomnia, I think it's kind of them and 6-blow that are really competing for that second place spot. So curious to see how cleanly 6-blow could try to get it done here today. Arise Project, as kind of mentioned, you weren't there for that broadcast day, but they did look pretty damn good in their opening series. Were able to go through relatively unscathed, not dropping any maps in that one. So I have my eyes on them as well for a potential, top 4 team. I'll have to see how it all shakes out, though. as we'll take a look at our matchups for today. As you mentioned, it's going to be Sixplo going up against Nyam, and this one, it does seem rough because Nyam just haven't been able to get those wins.
Yeah, not yet. They took, I think, one map off Namakuji brothers. I think that is the only win that they have so far this season. But
no, I think Namakuji 3-0'd them.
Oh, really? Okay,
yeah.
They took a win. Maybe they took a win against, was it Revati? Anyway, it was in the first week, so they have one map win. So that's what they got going for them. They don't feel hopeless, though. I mean, the team doesn't have any major glaring issues. I think they're just mechanically a little bit behind the other teams, so that's something that they can grow with as the season progresses.
Sure.
A lot of these teams, by the way, are practically amateurs. Just to put that out there for you guys, they have, they're not pro gamers in the sense that they live in a team house or they train, hours and hours and hours every day. A lot of these guys are playing after they finish work, coming into the broadcast today. So there's obviously a lot of development that can happen, and maybe if you hit a certain point, you feel like maybe I do want to really commit to going pro, and that training does come through. But for now, some of these squads a little bit more hardcore than others, and I think Varel and Sixplo being the two biggest orgs, Revati as well.
Well, we'll go ahead and take a closer look now at the roster from the side of Sixplo, and I mean, as you mentioned, a bit more meat on the bones of the organization here. They have multiple players. We've seen TQQ, being subbed in, Dukes as well being subbed out. So there's been that back and forth, that flexibility that they've been putting on display. But overall, I mean, the team's just been looking pretty damn good.
Yeah, it really has. We also did see Max come in their first series. He looked pretty good as well. I imagine that if he does come in, it will once again be on hybrid. So see if that does happen in the second map of today. As Nyam, a 5-man roster, no subs, and I think, Raven, I think for me has been the most promising player on this roster. I think his sound barriers have been pretty good. His decision making has been solid. Scenery's Doomfist also pretty decent. It's the DPS lineup that has, in this meta, really been, I think, falling short of the other team's DPSs, which can lead to a lot of problems, especially if it's Echo versus Echo or Tracer versus Tracer, and you're losing that out consistently. Then even if Scenery's the best tank player in the league, he's only able to do so much when the DPSs fall.
Well, we can take a look here. See where we're going to be going. Looks like Lijiang Tower to start things off, then into Midtown for our hybrid. I believe you got your first Midtown cast just yesterday. So
yeah, I did.
Got that one out of the way. We go back over to New York, and then it's going to be Esperanza for our push map. And if this does go a bit further here, then we'll see New Junk City, potentially even Circuit Royale once more.
Yeah, maybe. No Kings Row is sad, but Midtown is growing on me. I think, actually, I think I cast Midtown with you. I was thinking about it when we did the Apex show match.
Oh, the show match.
Because I remember when I was casting it the second time yesterday, I was like, oh yeah, this is the bird ring pop-off overclock angle at the end of the map.
That might be the case.
Yeah, I feel like that did happen. But
okay.
Anyways, first time casting it this season was yesterday, and in terms of bans here, there's nothing that really sticks out to me as like, this is the really cool strat against the enemy team. Nothing too glaring here, especially going into Lijiang Tower.
I think we also need to get even deeper into this. Obviously, for Japan, it's a region where we're getting our eyes on it for the first time in a big way, I should say. And I think as time goes on, we'll see the proficiencies of all these different teams, where they excel, the type of comps that they really like to run. Other than Namakuji, we have them pegged. We know exactly what they like to run. But we have to see the further development of these squads and see how they're going to be evolving, especially as new patches come in and the meta gets shifted around, to really settle on, okay, this is this team's playstyle. This is where it's really going to excel the most. So as time goes on, we will get a better grasp and a better understanding of what these teams are looking to do when it comes down to the vetoes.
Yeah, the only last thing I have to say before we move into this is the only question we have going into Lijiang is, has Sixplo adapted to the new Doomfist Tracer Echo meta that we saw in Korea, which is the standard there, or are they going to just still run, stuff like the Wrecking Ball that we saw a lot from the last time around? That is the big question I have going into this one.
All right, we'll see. We'll also see what sub-map we're going to be getting, because Control Center think that might be a decent spot for maybe pressure to even bring out something like this Sigma. We'll see what we get, though. We'll see where we go. As we get ready to hop into game, it's going to be series number 1 here, week 2, day 2, Sixplo versus Nyam. It will be Night Market to start things off, and pressure already going to be showing us that Doomfist.
Yep. Same with Scenery, at least on the outset here. And I think that these DPS heroes are going to turn into. They're going to turn into Tracer Echo. Genji would be really cool and really fun, but I don't think that Army is ready for that. We're kind of calling him that colloquially here because his name is very long and difficult to pronounce if you want to say the whole thing. So give us, if you guys have any ideas for a cool way to respect his name but also make it shorter, please hit us up.
All right, well, opening volley going to be coming through here as the Doomfist do clash. Aoki's going to be sticking with that Soldier 76, has been showing it a little bit in the matches so far, but that is going to be Army take it down as Aoki will find that first kill. Pressure as well going to be hovering around half HP. Recall going to be used as Dukes does get on top of the Soldier, able to find that kill. Answer back elimination is in. Point now unlocked. Explode the inside track, get their way over, and looks like they will have the first lockdown.
Yeah, keeping the Genji here actually quite unique. It's just full dive basically. It changes the composition significantly as pressure is under that pressure right now.
And Dukes, ooh, not sure what clipped him there. Maybe a Helix rocket or something. Either way, went down to basically 1 HP, but does manage to keep himself alive. Pulse Bomb now about to be online here for the side of 6blow.
Aoki sticking with his Soldier, very vulnerable here, but doing a ton of damage.
Punch to the corner, not going to be able to find anything with the further dive in coming through flow from Army, able to find the elimination. Seismic Scenery will take down pressure though, so now without a tank here are 6blow. Pulse Bomb out from Dukes, unable to find a target. So far it looks like the flip is going to come in cleanly as Nyam get themselves on the board. Now the swap over to the Cassidy as well for Aoki.
Yeah, Army there, or EMEA, looking like he wanted to, okay, hold up. This is not necessarily a secure point. It's not necessarily a secure point.
I'm looking to secure it though. Kitsune Rush stopping 6blow from widely pushing in, but now they have one of their own. They're now trying to take the fight over towards the side of Nyam. The punch into the corner. Pressure is able to isolate and take down Scenery. Masquerade as well going to fall. Now the flip can come in as Dukes is able to scoop up too. Looking for the punch. There's the kill. And with a little bit of minor cleanup back over, that's just going to be a very swift retake here for the side of 6blow.
Cassidy just really is so disconnected from the rest of what this composition is trying to do. It doesn't fit the identity, and so even though Aoki could do a little bit of damage on the side, if he's maximizing that, trying to control point, then he's going to be vulnerable and picked off.
Scenery.
Blade potential.
Oh yeah, right up over the top of the blade now, going to be pulled in. Deflect already going to be burned. Looks like they're able to find one, looking for a little bit more, but Army going to be taken low, has the back pedal. They are going to lose pressure in this one. Could have Meteor struck to get himself out to safety, but decides to just save it.
Yeah, I mean, they still have point control, and he should be able to get back pretty quickly since they did pick him off basically at Nyam's spawn. So he's not too worried about that. There's a window here, though, to potentially punish this if Aoki can get into position. But as you can see here, he's struggling to even get out of these gates. He's dead. And yeah, that's going to be the hole here on this one, very likely.
Yep, and right before the flip can come through, Pressure is able to rejoin, gets himself over onto this one as Meteor Strike is going to be used. Dodging out the Pulse Bomb, good timing there from the side of Scenery, but Widely is going to have to exit out to safety, keeping himself alive into the fight as much as he possibly can. Down low in the corner, a little bit of green HP shielding coming through, but eventually Dukes is able to find the elimination as the Sound Barrier gets dropped in here from Kira, who's also able to collect a kill onto Axion. Dash in, Army able to find Raven. Cleanup will continue as the flip will not be found, and nor will an overtime touch, it would seem, as Scenery gets hounded down back outside of the spawn room.
Yeah, with the Sound Barrier being committed there's just no way you're ever going to win that. I don't even know if they necessarily needed it, but you know it's the last fight of the round, so might as well just toss it in. And that was one of the big determining factors there on the cap. As Nyam Gaming, unfortunately, that one fight they lost after having control of the point was really the turning point, because then Aoki couldn't really do anything on this McCree. Sound Barrier isn't going to keep him alive. And look, this moment here just really illustrates the weakness of this composition when it's not all together and you're not peeling for the Cassidy. And so, you know, it's really... we've seen them try to run this before, but it's very vulnerable. And I feel like 6blow's comp is just kind of a... It's a great comp to prove why these long-range hit scan heroes are not really being played on control. Kind of a meta check comp, and they failed the check.
And if they could get first control here, play in the point, I can see the Cassidy maybe finding some value there, able to dance around that center pillar and whatnot, but just given what we've seen thus far, that is going to be a bit of a struggle. As damage already getting pushed out, the mag grenade going to be chucked forward, but Pressure has the fist raised, keeps himself nice and protected, just mitigating a lot of that damage. Meantime, we'll see up on the wall, Raven looking to see if anyone falls into his trap and looks to get pushed off the point, but he himself is going to get shoved back as Aoki, now Axion and Raven will get clipped. So there you go, first cap going to be coming in as 6blow starting things off, and I mean Dukes is just going crazy.
Yeah, I wonder if Aoki should just swap to like, I mean, Echo would be ideal, but swapping to Pharah or swapping to even Sojourn I'd like more here because she can offer you a little bit more up in front burst damage to maybe even pick somebody.
This is just more mobile,
yeah,
more
like,
elusive.
Exactly. I feel like if he wants to play this style, there are a lot of other heroes that could work out instead of the Cassidy, but at least he's able to get to the point, so he'll be relevant for this fight.
Working his way over, but you see that punch going through, connecting on to 3 players over here in White Rooms. The Meteor Strike coming down. Kitsune Rush is committed here from Masquerade, but it is in desperation, and it will hold no water. Everybody just going to get swept up, chucked back into the dropship. My words, hello, I found them.
You got there. Yeah, this one's a toughie. Now they can use Kitsune Rush to actually push through as they come out of these gates into the archway. Pretty easy engage option for a 6 blow.
Oh, Dukes, okay. Limit testing a bit. Does manage to make his way out of there. Heads Nakume behind him, offering up a bit of that healing. Sound barrier about to be online here from the side of Raven, but Nakume able to pull the trigger first, sends out that Kitsune Rush, and for now, Nyam just wanting to backpedal, wanting to hold that beat for a little bit longer. Exit. There is, okay, pressure gonna get caught. An opening kill now gonna be found. Dragonblade, however, still online here from Army. See if that comes into play to try to hold the point, but right now it's gonna be 73%. The dive in comes through the plate, gets shut down immediately. They'll be able to just go ahead and find the killing blow into that one, and Army getting absolutely nothing done with that ult. Duke's now going to be hounded down, noted on the back line. Mag grenade chucked into the face of pressure, but he does not care too much. Duke's able to find that elimination, but Raven's going to be able to take down the enemy Doomfist. For now, it is going to be Nyam in control, but for how long, we're not too certain. 11% ticking upward here. Pressure still out of the fight for the rest of the team. Back over onto the point to try to get this right back into their control very swiftly. Sound barrier dropped in. Kiro shielding up everybody's. The Meteor Strike going to be dropping in on top of him. Gets rid of some of that shielding, but can't find any eliminations as Masquerade will get taken down. Dukes again, finding a kill. Pulse bombs in. Takes out both the supports single-handedly. With scenery gone, it's just Axion and Aoki now trying to hold the line here, but they have to pull away. They have to try to stay alive to force out this overtime as the recall puts Axion in a pretty rough spot. He will fall, and once again, looks like this might just be an overtimeless take here of the point. Looking to try to get there, but Kira says nope, gets the boop on the scenery, setting him down. Overtime will get popped. The Kitsune Rush will get invested, but there's going to be no ROI. Everything will just tick up there to 100, and 6blow will be able to take the opening map 2-0.
Anytime they had control, anytime they were able to get point presence with the front line, when it was Scenery who was actually able to get onto the point, even when he has point presence, he's there, he is able to get in without taking a lot of damage, and he has Meteor Strike, so he can hold on that for a little while. But the DPS line is just getting destroyed elsewhere, and so eventually, like even if he Meteor Strikes, even if he gets sound barriered by Raven, he gets taken out, and you know, the Axion's Tracer is unfortunately, I think, our weakest Tracer in the tournament at this moment in time. And he's not getting much done. He's not able to threaten anyone in the back line. Aoki's on his own, on the Cassidy. He's exposed, you know, there's no peel. And it's just DPS diff. And I think Scenery is doing a pretty good job, to be honest, all things considered. But, I mean, the gap between these two teams is so large. I think we might have 3 maps of this.
I concur. Unfortunately. I was trying to think of a, you know, something to kind of glean to say like, oh, okay, well, maybe going into Midtown this part will be better, but unfortunately, I'm just not seeing it because it does just seem to be a bit of a diff between the skill levels right now on either side. But
I think on defense, on Midtown, the first push, you can get value out of Cassidy. Like, if you can protect him well, maybe they even add a Brigida to that and try to really hunker down on controlling this ranged damage out of Cassidy. Like, maybe that's a way they could get some value there. We'll see if they're attacking first or defending first. I imagine probably attacking first, but or rather, excuse me, defending first. But that's kind of like where I'm grasping at straws for what could go well for them.
Yeah, I mean, you were talking about wanting to, you know, see a Sojourn in there. I think that as well, Midtown, that is a good spot to be able to bring out that Sojourn. And so if it is in the back pocket there, are we saying Aoki or are we going with Aoki? Because I've been saying Aoki, kind of like Steve Aoki.
I've just been saying Aoki, just because like in like hiragana, like Aoki.
Yeah.
You could say Aoki if you want, but it's
Okay, we'll go with Aoki then. All right, there you have it. I mean, you're bringing out the hiragana, so I might as well just bend to that. So we'll
He's
say
actually
Aoki.
written it in katakana, as well, of course, because it's I guess it's not actually a Japanese word, because katakana is used for non-Japanese words, generally speaking. I actually can read this, which is like quite rare for me. Like I struggle a lot to read Japanese, but this one is easy enough. And maybe it's just because I could see the words or his name right.
You know exactly what it is saying.
But anyway, it does say Aoki, so I'm just saying that's I think the way it should go. For Revati, I think is Revati, maybe is like how it's supposed to be said. We're struggling a little bit on saying that one in team fights and stuff, so
yeah.
We've kind of called him Army. Maybe I should talk to Recopy. Maybe she's got a hint for us. Defend first for Nyam, so we'll see if they can make something work on A and get some of that time bank down. We've seen a lot of different stuff here on Midtown. Like we've seen Diva, we've seen Sigma attempted. I think it's probably just going to be Doomfist, though, for 6-Blow on their first attack. And unless we missed it, I don't think Max is coming in. They're just going to stick with pressure.
No, but we do have Duke's out. TQQ is going to be stepping in. So the one substitution I believe that we do have, but we'll get, obviously, total confirmation on that in just a moment as we get ready to go into map number 2 and see whether or not we can have a bit of a turnaround here from the side of Nyam. See if they can put up a solid defense here, as they've elected to start on that side. So let's see what happens as we get into Midtown, kick things off, or whether or not 6-Blow is just going to be steamrolling their way, looking for a nice little 3-0 victory to start off the day. Game is ready, so let's go ahead and hop into the action, see what they have. We're talking about the Sojourn. I mean,
TQQ
showing it,
yeah,
saying like, hey, this is one of my favorite picks. That's why we have it on the graphic.
Okay, looks like he's gonna on it, and they're gonna play Sigma with it, so some additional protection. This is what we like to call poke comp, where you still have the Tracer for backline threat, and can be very annoying and can disrupt some of the enemy setup that you're gonna try to break through with your poke, and then you have Sigma with a shield to block and make sure the Sojourn is relatively safe to poke. The Zenyatta and Batiste going to be doing that as well. So that is the name of the game here for Nyam. Obviously, composition is hoping to slow down a dive composition like what 6-Blow are running here, and then eventually end up getting those ults like the Transcendence, so just buy a ton of time. But if you lose one push, you get rolled over one time, probably donezo. Probably just going to be the full cap. It doesn't really have a whole lot of sticking power without ults.
Alrighty, well, we'll get into the neutral fighting here. Is Axion already going to be forced to dash around a little bit? You can see TQQ going on a bit of a flank, getting himself now within the firehouse. Flashing here against the enemy Tracer. As Kiru going to be taken down. Masquerade with a nice headshot. To eliminate that enemy Lucio now. Army and TQQ both suffering pretty heavy losses on the HP bar, but not going to be taken down yet. So some stability going to be found. Kiru can rejoin very quickly, but for now, a slow approach over to point A.
That was a really nice pick, actually, onto the enemy Lucio. It's going to really help them defend that first attack, but the second one not going so well.
Yeah, the punch-in scenery, just trying to backpedal his way up the stairs now, dropping down, trying to stay elusive. Axion, however, able to find that melee elimination there on the TQQ. Get him out, taking away that much more pressure here as the Discord Orbs are going to be a bit of trouble here for pressure. Putting up the fist, just trying to mitigate as much as humanly possible. Jump over the side, seismic slam, just trying to get as much green HP as he possibly can. Will force out the immortality field, dodges out on getting clipped there by that rock. TQQ rejoining, is able to find Axion. Now point, the takes coming through here for the side of 6-Blow. Onus is on Nyam. They're trying to get themselves back over onto this one. They're trying to retake it. Masquerade and Scenery, however, both so dangerously low as Raven, trying to peel some pressure, trying to put out some heals here through that Ant Matrix, but eventually will get taken down. Backpedal in from Palki, ends up falling, and the cap will eventually come in. So it's going to be just shy of 5 minutes here for 6-Blow.
Well, it started off well. Masquerade with that opening pick, he was able to spot Kiru on that angle. The observers actually showed us the angle he took there, was able to take him out, but then follow-up fights, again, like I said, if you don't get Trance, you just don't have the staying power, you will eventually just lose out. And Raven, and he did his damn best to try to keep Scenery up there. His healing output was insane. Ultimate less impactful, though, is... Okay, that's a pulse.
Pulse from Axion, able to find two, actually.
Yeah, that was clean.
Army and pressure both going to be taken down, so that's one hell of a way to just slow up the push.
Counter pulse from TQQ is just absorbed by the immortality field, so Raven again coming up big on that play. We'll halt the cart for now. They're trying to control these entryways, but they'd like to operate a little bit more on a place where their ranged Sojourn can have a little bit more line of sight.
That's why retaking this high ground was so damn important for them, but the dive in, I think the punch, maybe the Immortality Field wasn't even used there. I think Raven just didn't have enough time to try to react. Flux committed into the fight, but elimination's not going to be found, and now Scenery very much backpedaling as the overclock is going to be popped here from Aoki. Looking for a target, but everybody just denying sightlines. The cart so far away that no one really has to try to really even challenge this, and he's not looking to move forward, so ultimately the ultimate will just dwindle out.
Yeah, it doesn't feel great. See if it can push through this Sigma right now, as this army just farming Blade Charge right now. As not going to get hit by any accretions, going to dash his way out of that one, and Sixblow slow pushing this. Gaining a lot of ground, though, and not a whole lot of line of sight for Aoki.
Okay, well, that's going to be the rush up now onto the top ground here as Masquerade and Raven both going to get taken down. Army able to get right up on top of him. Pulse bump from Axion. We'll be able to find pressure once more as sliding backward there. Aoki trying to draw the attention of the enemy Genji. Axion's able to collect the kill, but eventually it's going to be TQQ coming out on top as he manages to find 3. Push again coming through. A chance at a last-second touch is here. Scenery's going to be coming back on the Doom Fist. A couple meters left to go. Now arrives. Masquerade as well, swapping over onto the Moira.
Yeah, good swaps here that should be able to delay pretty significantly here, especially with Immortality Field. I think that this may need to be a big Kitsune rush or just wait for that Dragon Blade to actually be able to secure this point. Unless they get a pick, of course. TQQ can look for that rush first.
Okay, Kitsune rush going to be in. Pressure going to be taken down as he goes diving forward. Couldn't clear out that Immortality Field fast enough, so he ends up getting caught. But Sakumechi, oh man, back-to-back headshots. Gets Scenery, gets Axion. The Pulse Bomb finds Masquerade. And there's no use in committing an Ant Matrix at that point, so Raven will just hold on to it for the final defense here as the team kill does come through. Team kill. And now the push on to C can continue.
Yeah, that was a really ult-efficient push, and it was just Sakume doing massive damage with his...
holding right click.
Yeah, holding the right click and just doming them with it. And now Sixblow going to have the Dragon Blade set up and Sound Barrier to layer with it. No trance is really rough here for Nyam. They just need to somehow maintain distance here, and I think they need to be willing to give up some of this push here and then operate around this area, just trying to fight around where Aoki actually has line of sight and not pushing up onto that corner. It's probably step one.
And the problem is everybody just being closer together. These dives from Sixblow have been so damn clean. Immortality Field taking out the Meteor Strike from Pressure, able to find the kill there on a Masquerade, having since swapped back over onto that Zenyatta. Scenery with a quick little punch there onto the side, but it's just very much getting bullied around.
Yeah, that's really rough. Just getting killed by the Meteor Strike straight up. Immortality Field focused down. Axion dies to a Lucio off on the side. And this window.
And the Matrix is here, but the Overclock is not paired with it, and they're just wrapping in, getting in behind it. And Immortality cleared out. Army able to just set up for the eliminations here onto Raven. Scenery, Aoki all falling. The cart has not stopped, and it looks like it isn't going to. Axion with a dive forward will stop it very briefly, but it's 2 minutes 29 seconds for Sixblow. They make it to the end of Midtown.
Very dominant win. A lot going wrong for Nyam in the middle of the push. Like some of those accents off camera, the Lucio killing the Tracer and stuff like that. This was the big one, just the right clicks coming through. No pressure on this Kiriko whatsoever, and no damage coming out, and then you know, obviously the Immortality Field could buy you some time here, but there's just no CC, nothing to shut down this Dragon Blade. Not enough damage output, frankly, either. Like, he didn't even take damage while he was looking for it. So yeah. I feel like the focus fire a little bit off for Nyam, and we'll see what they have planned. Okay, Ramatra showing, at least for now, on the attack. We'll see if that actually does come through. I would recommend against it, but Sixblow not going to change anything. They're not going to be running any sort of long-range hit scan themselves. No Sojourn, no Cassidy. Just going to stick with the defensive dive, which can be so painful on Midtown for the attacking team if they don't have the coordination to actually group together, because you just lose your supports instantly, oftentimes. Brigida coming out here with Batista and the Ramatra is kind of like their take on Goats-ish kind of comp, sort of.
And this is going to be pretty brawly. I'm curious what Aoki's going to swap to after looking for the opening snipe. I mean, something like a May Reaper to go alongside of it.
Yeah, that could be quite good.
Okay, he's going to go back over onto the Cassidy, and this can potentially work.
Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of ways to make sure that OWCS can get into position to actually do that damage pretty consistently well. And it's tough for Pressure to actually live through it. He has to play so carefully.
Oh, punch though. Knocking 2 into the wall.
Look at that, just so clean here from Pressure.
Oh, another punch. God. 4 players, everybody getting slowed up. Soulfield after the Ramacho, but now Immortality Field does come into play. Pressure's going to be taken down. Nyam going to work their way over to the point. They get themselves now into the firehouse and over on towards the point. Pressure now respawning, going to be rejoining, but Sixblow very disconnected from one another. That tick does get given up.
That first slam from Pressure was so good, but the second one, he was just way too deep. Immortality Field just shuts him down. And they're going to try to buy time here. He does not have Meteor Strike.
Contest is in. Immortality Field going to be slapped down. Now the Matrix going to be thrown in as well, but instantly. Pressure able to come up with 2. OWCS and Raven both eliminated. The cleanup continues as it's going to be another team kill.
I mean, Pressure, he did overextend a little bit there and got picked, which is why we even got to this place in the first place. But he built like 70% of his ultimate off of those first 2 attacks and got the last 30 there just in time to Meteor Strike, and Nyam just couldn't spread against it. He did so much work, basically all on his lonesome. Now Dragon Blade is ready. So good luck breaking through this a second time, as at least they'll have
maybe the rally.
Yeah.
Raven building it up. The problem is you want to be able to use the rally when you're on the point, so they still have to try to work their way over there first. OWCS nearly getting the pick off there onto Army. Takes him low. For now, all of Nyam just working their way through the back alley. Pressure waiting around the corner, jumps in. Now Blade beat everything being committed to this one as the Deadeye is going to be invested. And stick out. It's going to be the kill on a Masquerade. The Deadeye is able to find an elimination, though, as Army does get taken down. Some pressure over onto the point in the meantime, as Axion was looking for a bit of a back cap.
Yeah, they didn't get, any additional ticks here. They didn't actually cap the point on the trade.
And now they're really disconnected here because, I mean, Masquerade, he's going to be running back in. Looks like Sixblow just want to put them out of their misery right now and have the whole team go for a reset as Axion narrowly escaping, grabs a health pack, and maybe can slide back over here with the rest of the supports, but Pressure, he is looking for more. Jumping forward, looking to try to set up for these eliminations. Can't get the punches to try to isolate Raven, but still is just pushing the envelope as they go diving forward. Meteor Strike now available for him for the bailout should he need it.
I mean, he just doesn't care.
Just keeps going. This man does not stop. Says, all right, I see your Immortality Field. I'm waiting for my teammates to try to clear that one out. Drops down. Immortality, or rather, Matrix is going to be invested here from Masquerade in front of the spawn as Pressure just does not stop going. He finally will fall. Masquerade able to collect the kill, but now they have to wait for Raven.
Yeah, they have to wait for Raven to come through. Pressure doesn't have his Meteor Strike anymore, and so there is a really big opportunity here, especially with Annihilation now online for Scenery, but they need to get to the point itself, but they're wasting so much time here.
Pressure's coming back. I mean, Army just tucking into the corner, ends up getting taken down, but OWCS, Masquerade, both going to be lost on the approach. That cap nearly there here for the side of Nyam, which they desperately need as there's only 45 seconds remaining, but as soon as they touch the point, they just get forced right back off of it, and the rest of the team is so disconnected.
Yeah.
Now Axion's dead.
Yeah, they just can't actually group anymore. Sakabe also took out the enemy DPS a second time, and supports are killing your DPSs in this comp. You're just not going to be able to operate on it. They need to get Scenery onto the point, have him toss out that Annihilation. That's your only hope. And you're not going to do it before Sound Barrier is ready anymore. You've missed that window. All right, he's getting towards the point now. They need to just group onto him.
Lobbing the Pulse Bomb, not going to find the elimination there from TQQ. Tsune Rush out here, Sixblow. They want to end the map right here, right now. Punch into the corner, Raven taken out. Can they even get themselves over onto the point? Axion does arrive in time to force out the overtime, and for now the back cap is going to be attempted. Scenery. Annihilation popped, trying to work his way over toward the point here to try to reinforce, but now the ult is going to be expired. Good damage being put out here onto Pressure, taking him low. Green HP comes through off the punch. Another blade nearly online as the Ant Matrix is going to be invested here onto the point. Stun in, Pressure going to be taken down. TQQ at a sliver. Army as well, trying to find a stable HP bar so that he can actually commit the blade into this fight, but now he is going to be dropped. OWCS out of the fight. TQQ, however, still here, but now Sakame going to be taken down. Masquerade able to find that elimination. Is Kiru fighting back as well, able to find one. Pulse Bomb out, not going to get the elimination, and we're not done yet. The cap comes in here onto point A, and Nyam, they barely hold on.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good push there from Nyam. They actually get Scenery onto the point. They're able to get the Annihilation to go off, and then, at that point, with Rally coming out, it's really tough to crack, and I think Sixblow playing a little bit disrespectfully as well. Pressure not able to build his ultimate, so without that, not going to be able to buy any further time. Now the blade's out.
And they're right up in there. Once more, Pulse Bomb out from Axion. Connection not going to be found. Immortality Field has been committed. Now that that's going to be expiring, the blade does come into play. Dash not at the ready, though, looking for a reset. Instead, it's just going to be swiping away at this Ramacha.
Front to back, Genji.
Yep, and then eventually, as soon as the Ramacha stops being a huge guy, he dies.
Yeah.
Cleanup continues. It's going to be yet another team kill. Quick, fly the graphic. Thank you.
There we go. I just want to first describe, what front to back means. So we use this term a lot recently in Overwatch. We didn't really use it that much in the past. It just means killing the tank first and then killing everyone after there's no front line anymore. And that's what he did with that blade. It did eventually take Scenery out, and then they were able to push through. Cart here being contested by Pressure alone. And I mean, he can just get rushed here by the Kitsune rush and then do a ton. Let's see what he does with this. He's going in.
Pushing their way forward here. Punch going in, though.
Yeah, he's going in hard.
Fine Masquerade. And yep, with the Kitsune rush backing him up. It's just going to be another little sweep. Axion dips back into the spawn room, denying us the team kill graphic once more.
The Pressure, or the Doomfist value you get with the cooldown reduction of the Kitsune rush is actually quite high. You could cycle your abilities a second time and get so much green health, so much damage, and so much ult charge.
Death from above, dropping in. Nope, pulse bomb is going to be connecting there onto the bus stop. Kill not found, but I mean, they get the Ant Matrix out of them once more. Not playing any angles where they can actually find value, but they do give up access to the cart for now. But they're looking to take that right back away here, because that sound barrier does get dropped in. Deadeye at the ready, deflect going to be ending the punch forward. And Aoki not able to find anything there.
Scenery sticking onto this point, has his ultimate here.
Trying to start the push, but players getting picked off here on the approach back over. Gone. Now Blade pulled. Raven going to be taken down as Kira's able to find one Sakame, as well as the supports continue to very much be involved in these eliminations. Axion able to find one. Gets rid of the Genji with the pulse bomb, and now Scenery is going to be gone. Aokigahara just swapping in desperation over towards that Sombra, but nobody can get the touch. A bit of an extension here on the map as the cap was able to come through, but they couldn't get the push going, so 6blow will be able to start things off 2-0 in the series.
Yeah, pretty one-sided affair with the one exception of that push where they got the Ramatra onto the point. Scenery is able to hunker down, and they already had 2 ticks because of the chaos in the fight. The back cap came through on A, so they got 2 ticks. And then they were able to win 1 fight to get the final one. But everything after that was just kind of a wash. And man, we are just watching Pressure do whatever he wants this game. Yeah. I almost feel like the way that they're playing this with the Genji and the Doomfist is just they've identified the DPS players are just not accurate enough to kill us. Like, we actually could just go in and do whatever we want, build that green health on the slam, and then just grab that really easy, really early Doomfist ultimate. Even if he dies, which he did on the first defense, if you guys remember, he's ready to come back and recontest with an ult, basically after the first attack. So if you're able to do that much with Doomfist, and then, of course, the Kiriko rush, it doesn't even matter about your DPS players, who are, by the way, out DPSing the other players on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, the punish just hasn't really been there. We'll see if they're going to be able to fight back a little bit more. We saw those signs of life, being able to get the cap, being able to persevere through that. I did like the kind of change over to the Ramatra comp, but we'll see if there's going to be more of that creativity, more of that ingenuity coming through, and whether or not it's going to find some value, as we do have push on the horizon. That's going to be Esperanza, but first, we're going to go to a quick little break, so don't go anywhere. And we are back. It is time to go into map number 3, which could very well be the end of this series, unfortunately, for the side of Nyam Gaming, because this has just been a fairly one-sided affair. Saw some signs of life, saw them changing up the comps a little bit. I widely liked the attack with the Ramatra, but I think it was missing a couple extra pieces to really make it stick.
Yeah.
Like if it was a Reaper in there, you go full Brawl style with it.
May Reaper, Ramatra.
That would be a much more classic style.
We've seen like May, Bastion, Reinhardt actually work. You know, with the Batiste, so you put the Immortality field down, Bastion comes out, puts damage out, you put the window up, the Amp Matrix actually just puts the damage to like an insanely high level. Yeah. Something like that, obviously a little bit tougher to pull off on Midtown, because it was his hand on the desk.
Just hit my hand on the desk. Ow.
Oh, he'll be okay.
It's like one of those hits where it's kind of like where you hit your funny bone. It's just like, oh, that didn't actually hurt, but it did a little bit for like a very minute period of time. But yes, I'll be fine. It's not going to stop us at all.
Esperanza.
Yeah. Esperanza going to be our push map here to decide whether or not this is in fact the 3 Overwatch day, or if Nyam can actually turn things around a little bit and try to scoop up some map wins.
It's Nyam's map pick, so maybe they've got something special prepared. I wouldn't assume that. You know, I think probably we're going to see more Aoki Cassidy, and that's okay. I don't know if it's going to be successful. Maybe they can find a way to make it work, because they were protecting it a lot better last week, I think, than they are this week. I think the level of competition is higher today, though. 6 Below is just so good at running these Doomfist dive comps. They're not even running Echo. They're just playing Tracer Genji dive, and it's working.
It has been working, and I think just given what we've been seeing from Esperanza, this is likely just going to be some more of that Doom, you know, face-to-face between those two tanks. And so far, it has been Pressure who's coming out on top of the game is ready. Let's go ahead and jump into this one, see if 6 Below can go ahead and keep the streak alive, or if Nyam's going to be able to stand in their way and extend this series. So let's go ahead and jump into map number 3, Esperanza. Alrighty, and here we go. Looks like, though, scenery, maybe just a hover on it for the time being, but for now is going to be showing the Sigma.
Yeah, Pressure also teasing the Ramatra. He's not going to play it, though.
I think we just need all teams to collectively say, you know what? Let's do what Nozzle would do, and just everyone run Roadhog on push.
Or everyone do what Pandia did, and just 6 Below actually runs Nyam's comp as well. They like swap over to Cassidy and just try to give it a go, see what they can do with it. That would be fun. You know, it's like, okay, they can't run the other comps, so we'll make it fair and run Mirror. As let's see, look at the angle here for Roromia, by the way.
Yeah.
Has slight correction on that as
okay, Romeo himself getting tagged very low.
Yeah, not a bad amount of ult charged on that one Swift Strike, but also almost died.
Yeah. I mean, forced to play very far back here, though, is Nyam, but nice opening pick.
See, this is how you play the Cassidy. You stick together, you run the Brig, and you just delete anyone who comes your way. I like this style, and they were running it last week, so they're doing exactly what I wanted. If they're going to force this, they're going to force it right. At least Pressure also burst down, and you front to back this. If he's the one who's going in, you just apply that CC. And Immortality field is not even necessary in some of these fights. If you could burst them down quickly enough, you could save that for backline dives. And unfortunately, Roromia not building too much ult charge off of those first 2 attempts. Cart's rolling, robots pushing. I don't really fully understand the lore of push, to be honest. Like, we're like gonna push this like thing on the ground. It's gonna block what? I mean, come on.
I don't think anybody. I don't think there's much of an explanation for it, to be perfectly honest. But you know. Okay. Aokigahara able to find a nice opening headshot there. Sakame going to be taken down now. Raven traded. Kiru able to find one, but I mean, the HP bars right now are just so very low. And on the push forward, TQQ trying to get that pulse bomb in. Ends up getting domed. So another follow-up shot. Mag grenade in. Romeo now going to be taken down.
Okay, maybe we got a game on our hands here, as Kiru is going to be a little bit too far away, and too far disconnected from his squad, too close to Aoki's crosshair, and that's going to be the checkpoint to come through here as well, so unlocking some additional spawns here feels nice. And they have been able to do this ultless so far. And that's, I mean, the most impressive thing. With Immortality field, even a pressure ult isn't going to be necessarily enough If they could force it out early, that would change the story on what this Meteor Strike might do.
Force him on the low ground. Immortality Field does come through as he gets stunned up against the wall. Drop down into the back. Quick cancel. This mag grenade will be able to chase forward there on the pressure. But damage is not going to be found. The bot still getting further and further away as they're going to have to try to push right up in front of this Amp Matrix. So far able to do so with the help of the Kitsune Rush. And pressure is finally able to find an opening kill as Axion's going to be taken down. Kigahara as well falling as pressure is able to collect 2. And that will be this push at least coming to a close, but already fantastic early lead here for the side of Nyam.
Yeah, the weird thing about this is
the graphic.
The weird thing about this is that I feel like the Deadeye was what cost them the defense of that push. Like, I think if he doesn't Deadeye, they have a much better chance of actually winning that fight because he just puts himself isolated, can't kill anybody. Obviously, Deflect is so good into that, so you know, you made yourself a target there, unfortunately. I think sometimes just holding the Deadeye is the better option in those scenarios.
Well, the other thing is you have the Deadeye, and I was talking to Avril and Jaws about this just yesterday. It feels like it's pretty much the worst ult in the game at the moment.
Yeah, I think so. Of the heroes we're seeing.
But if you are going to use it when you have the Flux. Use it when everybody's picked up into the air. They don't have that little tie in there. Now Flux is going to be coming through, but widely not finding too much of anything as Rami is just going forward and is able to carve up 2 players. Raven and now Kigahara going to be taken down. TQQ picking up 2 of his own.
Yeah, I mean, I think the other thing about it is that it can give you this false sense of safety, like, oh, team kill graphic incoming. Got the graphic. Of safety of like, okay, I pull this out and then the dive can't come at me. Like, I'll just kill them. And against an uncoordinated solo queue team, like that actually works out most of the time. It's actually relatively true. You just watch the deflect, make sure you don't fire into that, and you're okay otherwise. But against a coordinated dive team and a Doomfist who has Meteor Strike, it is unfortunately not going to give you any safety at all. But I appreciate the attempt.
Still holding the lead here for the time being. As pressure going to be taken down early. Kigahara able to find that kill. Bot now being taken away. Nyam in control. Sixplo just have to backpedal, wait for the tank to rejoin. For now, this does allow for Nyam to maintain this lead.
All right, let's see what this Doomfist flank is going to get done here. They could try to sandwich Axion. He was kind of in no man's land there looking for a pulse. That was a risky moment.
Still is a bit disconnected from the rest of the team, but the bot going to be intercepted here as Punch goes forward and Masquerade, as he commits that Amp Matrix, ends up getting taken down. TQQ able to find one, Romeo diving forward as well. Takes off that Cassidy. It looks like widely the bot going to remain here in the hands of Sixplo. Can push it back forward once more as we have. There we go. Thank you. Thank you.
We fly it. I feel like pressure has just been unchained. He has been able to do whatever he wants. He is not being punished. And he is getting the maximum value out of this Doomfist every single fight. And that flank was fantastic for him. And it just makes it so hard to play this Cassidy if you have to deal with this Doomfist. Now he's just walking with the bot itself, going in directly.
Yep, and that's going to be the lead now here in the hands of Sixplo. Kitsune Rush at the ready. Deadeye into the back lines.
Much better timing.
Looking for a target here. Not going to be able to hunt anybody down, though, so instant kill's not going to be found. But HP bar still going to be whittled away at. Incinero's able to collect. Takome going to be taken out. TQQ as well, falling. As pressure, I mean, it's just such a dire spot. Does get the punch kill as a parting gift there over on towards Raven, but still is in a dangerous position. But Romeo looking to turn the tide to the fight. Diving forward, managing to carve up 2 players. Looking now to try to save his tank's life as Axion wanting to get on top of pressure here as much as humanly possible, but with that deflect with the dive forward here, the Tracer eventually will get picked off. Pressure stays alive, and the push somehow will continue.
And now that Deadeye, just to go back to the original conversation, that was when you want to use it. You know Pressure's already used his cooldowns. He's not on top of you. You've got a nice angle. He puts a decent amount of damage on top of everybody. They push through. That was clean. Unfortunately, the Dragon Blade does change the story, but still, that was a much better play.
Okay, now a tempo beat here from Kira, though, looking to really just continue pushing forward, but TQQ ends up getting caught. Not receiving any of that shielding, off on the flank. Axion winning the Tracer battle, so in the end, 2 players lost here for nothing. Sound barrier expended, and a big opening here for Nyam to potentially regain a lead.
Yeah, definitely a strong option for them, or strong opportunity rather for them, as Romeo.
Romeo, yep, not going to be able to get out of there. Whip shot eventually able to find the kill.
A little bit of greed trying to kill the Brigida there. She does have a decent amount of damage.
Yeah, but pressure, even without that Genji there alongside him, does not care. It's just going to be looking to try to regain control of this bot, but as the Flux comes in, he gets shut down, and that's one of the crucial things that I was going to say they are missing after that sound barrier commitment. When that Flux does come into play, you've got nothing to counter it. You're not playing with, you know, your own Baptiste, so you don't have that immortality field.
Yeah, really clean stuff here from Nyam, and they're going to have another Deadeye available. Let's see if they can once again kind of wait for Pressure to use his engage and then use it after that to set up for Scenery to kind of win that tank battle, maybe even get that opening pick. They know there's no Blade for a while since they just killed Romia.
Oh, and TQQ in a very bad spot. He is going to get diffed there. Axion able to win out on that Tracer 1v1. Now Pressure going to be taken down, and Romia only able to open things up with a singular kill. Deadeye, quick pump. Quick shot. That's going to be Romia taken down as the push can continue. Now Nyam in a potential spot where they can also gain the lead for themselves once more.
That was clean. This team is actually starting to kind of find their footing here. They're running a comp that they ran last week. They're very comfortable with. And 6blow, obviously without Dragon Blade, without that extra oomph, if they don't get eliminations instantly, the kind of glass cannon that is this Cassidy is so difficult to deal with. Pressure in trouble.
Oh, yeah, Pulse Bomb onto him, but he still has that damage mitigation rolling through, so he's able to stay alive. Considering Rush now, going to be committed here from Sakume. Pulse Bomb sent from TQQ. Claims the Immortality Field, but Masquerade also taken down moments there before. So they're going to be dropped in, just going to cleanse off anything that they possibly could. As in the end, this is looking like it's just going to be some cleanup, and it is. TQQ collecting the last 2 kills here of the fight, and the bot once again being shipped back over towards the Nyam side of the map.
Yeah, really tough times here, and this is going to be a lot of time eaten, you know, away from the clock here from Nyam, who's still 10 meters or so behind. So they really need to win 2 team fights decisively if they want to have any hope of potentially starting what would be then the beginning of a reverse sweep. As tools here for them fairly limited until that Flux is ready.
Oh, but there's a dive in alongside that Dragon Blade. Immortality Field does come in. Romia could be taken low, staying alive for the time being though, but eventually Okigahara is able to find the kill. TQQ as well going to be taken out. Meteor Strike drop back in here from Pressure. Immediately going to be greeted with a rock. Healing coming through. Sakume and Kiro both desperately trying to bail him out of this spot, but they cannot do it. In the meantime, the bot is still being shipped forward here, so now I'm going to be in a good position to get this push going once more.
Now, they need to win this fight into Sound Barrier. There's no Blade.
They have a Flux.
They have a Flux. Like, it could be the Flux Deadeye combo if they want to start it off that way, or they could just, again, play a little bit more defensively, try to Flux to guarantee that they can keep this cart rolling and try to actually get it towards the finish because, I mean, they need those 10 meters. Nice contest timing here from Nyam. Sorry, from 6blow.
Tucked away there in the corner. 9 meters now separating, but Masquerade and Raven instantly getting dropped. The Flux committed and all, but no value going to be found. Pulse Bomb will claim 2, and it looks like that is just going to be the hopes and dreams here of Nyam disappearing.
So close, so close. And the Sound Barrier makes it really easy for Pressure to dive deep there. They didn't react well enough, and then Scenery dropping his ultimate at the worst possible time there in the chaos, and he's just burst down there. Going to swap him over to Doomfist here for the last final team fight here. But it's not going to be on even footing. It's not going to be a fair fight.
Yeah, I mean, just shipping that bot back into the starting position, getting into those forward spawns, and just taking it so far away from them that they just cannot get the touch. Saw it there from Axion, but as he gets dropped, that is just going to be 6blow able to confirm the 3-0 victory.
Now, I think we can have a really fun discussion about player of the match because the DPS players on 6blow outclassed those of Nyam so hard. Duke's only played the first map, so, you know, he isn't really necessarily going to be in the conversation, but I think Pressure was the main character of all 3 maps. Like, every single engage he had was, I mean, not every single one, but almost all of them were super high value, and the team won or lost team fights based on how successful he was, and also how well Nyam responded, because at the end of that 3rd map, there were a few times where he went in, and then actually the Cassidy damage was enough to take him down. They were able to protect with the Brigida, put that armor up, look for some of that, the stun onto the Doomfist as well, and actually burst him down. So I think, like, literally they lived and died by him, so for me, like, that's what makes player of the match.
Well, we're going to find out as the player of the match is ready. So let's go ahead and see if it is in fact Pressure, or maybe somebody else could kind of take this one away from him, because it was looking very good for TQQ. So I think that you could also make a very solid argument for him playing out those last 2 maps. Both Tracers here for the side of 6blow, just deadly. I mean, if you could just sub them out and have that much impact from both of them, that's a pretty scary lineup that you have here. But we'll go ahead and take a look at the player of the match now and see who it's going to be, and it's Pressure.
Yeah, I just think this is the choice that for me was pretty obvious, but we've seen some surprising picks so far. Even yesterday we had a few where I was like, oh yeah, I guess so, kind of thing. But this one, to me, we'll probably watch these highlights in a minute where he just does such insane work. And again, I don't feel like Scenery was that much worse than him, you know what I mean? Like, in terms of his performance, but he was somewhat limited by the comps that they were playing. But Pressure, he did so much more in every single map. I mean, he just was able to get so much green health. He was constantly getting fast meteor strikes. Yep. And he just made Doomfist look like it was a DPS and a tank at the same time.
Yeah, man's out here looking like Gouchouet with it.
Yeah.
It's really clean, just great tracking of his cooldowns, his teammates, and as well as his opponents, just knowing when he really could aggress, and, you know, was getting punished every now and then, but for the most part, was just getting away with murder, especially on Midtown. That defense was absolutely ridiculous from him, so huge showings there from Pressure, and I think a very well-earned player of the match for himself.
Yeah, I think a little bit of signs of life for Nyam. Like,
yeah.
Very clearly comfortable playing the Cassidy with Brigitte. When there's no Brigitte there, it's a little bit tougher to pull that one off. You obviously sacrifice a lot when you're running Brigitte on maps like Control, but still, they prove that they kind of can hang with 6 Below on that final map. Could have actually brought us to 4 if they had played a little bit cleaner. But I like to see that there is something in this team. Like, there is clearly a game plan, and maybe they look like the worst team right now, but it's still early on this year. Maybe by the end of it, we'll say something different.
Yeah, I mean, that performance there in Esperanza, that was not the performance of the team that is statistically in last place. This was definitely showing signs of life, showing hope for the future. Just need to continue to have the development and continue for them to, you know, to cut their teeth in these matches.
But it's almost nozzle time. I can't believe we're going to have to wait for a break before we do nozzle time.
It's so unfortunate, but that we have to get everything. We have to get mentally prepared for what we are about to witness, because nozzle time is coming up. It's going to be Namakuji brothers taking to the theoretical stage here versus Revati for our second series of the day. So make sure you guys don't go anywhere, because you don't want to miss that for sure. So we're back, and it's about time to go into our second series of the evening.
And you know what that means?
We know what that means.
It's nozzle time!
All right, we'll cut it there.
I won.
I was like, how long are we going to keep this going for? Could have gone longer.
One of the craziest things I've ever done on an esports broadcast.
People just tuning in, opening their browser, are going to be like, what the hell did these white boys smoke before they came in today?
The thing is, we're on a delay, of course, to protect everybody from cheating and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
the chat's going to go, they're going to be like, what the hell? In 3 minutes from now, when they all catch up to us. Speaking of chat, we see you from time to time. We pop in between the games.
We peek in.
Y'all need to be kinder to each other.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, YouTube chat.
YouTube chat, come on.
Come on, brothers.
Okay. Let's talk about the previous series. What we did have of it was one map of the three that was competitive. Was otherwise the 3-0 we expected. I think Revati should be able to put Namakuji brothers down 3-0 as well. That's my prediction. But let's see what they bring to the table. See if they run some more of the Namakuji brothers composition.
Well, look at
Nozzle's
this.
starting.
Nozzle, of course, is starting. But it's also going to be Basa who's going to be starting here. So
yeah,
it seems like he often is just coming in for control, and then Manheta comes in for the other map types.
Yeah, he played for majority of the qualifiers as well, from what I was watching. So definitely a player that they've been playing with a lot. Oh, he also likes Lifeweaver? What a surprise.
I mean, that was the thing. It's like the first time we saw Basa subbed out, Manheta comes in and then just immediately started playing Lifeweaver as well. So both of them just specialists in this.
It is super wild to me that CC2 does not have Hanzo as his selected preferred hero.
Right.
Because he plays only Hanzo. Like, he never doesn't play Hanzo, no matter what.
He's just dreaming of the days long since past where Sombra was a menace. He's thinking back to, like, Season 2 Overwatch League era Sombra when, Lip and everybody else started rocking. Oh, I guess that would be the next season. But either way, yeah, when she was just an absolute menace. The team that they are looking to beat, though, is Revati.
So Minhyuk starting over for Kataro here in the start. So him and my GOAT Hofak back, ready to get it. I think Honey Factory, he is still up there for GOAT. Of course, I did cast him before I cast Nozzle, so, I didn't know about Nozzle at the time when I said he was going to be the greatest of all time, but he's still been pretty good. He's performed pretty well. I think the performance we saw in the first series was against Nyam, so he looked godlike by comparison there, but I think he's still a very solid player. And then Hesty and Epic on the support line. Harutun as well has been pretty good on the Tracer. They played a lot of Tracer Sojourn. And let's see if we're going to Hollywood or not. No. Banned by... Nobody wants to own Roadhog on Hollywood. They just keep banning Hollywood against Namakuji for some reason. Don't know why.
Yeah, so, I mean, Samoa, again, going to be starting things off here. Then into Blizzard World, new Queen Street for push. And if this does end up being a close series, if this does end up going the distance, we'll see Saravasa as well as potentially Shambali Monastery, which I don't think we've had yet.
No, we haven't. We're just not seeing a whole lot of escort in general. So Saravasa will be coming out. We saw it yesterday, and it's, there's only 2 maps for that game type at the moment. So, it's one or the other is what I'm getting at here. So, New Junk City, the other one that we do have, and let's see what happens here in this series. Like, we know we're going to get the Namakuji Brothers comp. A lot of people like to also call Life Hog, but that's a lamer name.
Yeah, we'll have to workshop something a little bit better than that. But
like the Namakuji Brothers comp.
Yeah, I think we just call it the Namakuji Special is pretty much what we go with. The chat has since caught up to our intro for Nozzle, and for those of you who are saying, ow, my ears, Caster, shut up, I'm muting this. I don't care. Just turn down your volume. It's just hit a little toggle. That's all it takes. We're having fun. We're here to bring the vibes.
They just didn't know what was coming. They didn't know the vibes
were coming.
To be
fair, we didn't know what was coming. That was completely off the cuff and completely improvised. But we'll take a look, zoom in on the map set here as we do get ready to start this series. Samoa going to be kicking things off.
Yeah, this is going to be fiery start to what could be a very one-sided series. But let's see if Nozzle can hit those hooks. Maybe they could get the opening picks and get that Roadhog on the point, get that Tree of Life. That's what I want to see.
Well, let's see if we get it as we jump into the game. We are ready to kick things off here. Samoa to begin as we jump in for map 1 here of our second series of the day. Namakuji brothers going up against Revati. Let's get this going.
All right, wait, let's read them out. We got 10 seconds. And I'm going to read them left to right, okay? Mm-hmm. And better not see any changes. All right, let's see.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that ain't right. That looks like a hover tease to me. That looks like a little bit of a hover troll. That's not the Namakuji brothers composition.
It better not be. I mean, for the sake of their tournament lives, this wouldn't necessarily be too bad. But
to be fair, like, you know, if they end up using the teleporter and then running a Bastion here, or more likely the Reaper.
Just waiting for the key piece of the puzzle.
Come on, give me that Hanzo after the teleporter. Come on, CC2.
All right, the TP forward. Yeah. CC2's on the Hanzo. Here we go. Hope back on the opposite side. Going to be coming out here with... He's going to be slided forward here with that Sojourn. Yeah,
Jungmin Hyuk going to be running the Junker Queen, otherwise running the Sojourn with this, which is Hofak's special. We'll see if CC2 can get a pick. That would be huge.
Okay, quick pull in there onto Min Hyuk, but damage not going to be found.
He's been life gripped. He's safe.
Life grip to take him back out here to safety. Stop him from being a bit of an ult battery here for the other team. Knife pull, though, going to be dragging him forward. The hook is in, and all the damage is going to be clashing, so he ends up getting taken down. Back in the meantime, able to snipe Bambi out of the sky with that rail shot, and that is going to be the first lockdown of the point going the way of Revati.
Yeah, a really nice opening pick onto Nozzle, as it often is if he's not able to get the damage done to actually secure that first elimination. But half a life tree, or Tree of Life, whatever. It's not a death tree, as long as that's clear. I think you guys get the point, but see if he can build it on this second push, and then maybe that's what it breaks the back of Revati. And as you can build this so quickly with Roadhog and Lifeweaver, just in general, the ult comes through very fast. As, okay, nice try. Near hit.
Looking for any kind of opener they can get. Again, just looking to play up here towards center point, but this time going to be dropping onto the low ground as Knight in, CC2 pulled forward. He's getting bailed out. Bambi in the meantime, beam comes through. They'll find Haratun before getting traded out. Just back once again, putting that Echo down. Namakuji brothers trying to inch their way forward here onto the point. Jisoo is going to get domed. Noz in the meantime, though, will be able to find Hesty.
Got that tree.
Life is in play, so he's just tucked into the corner, staying safe. But now, Overclock getting ready to come through. Pull Hog out. Min Hyuk going to be taken down. The pull in onto Hopeback, nearly finding the elimination there onto the enemy Sojourn, but he does manage to slide back out to safety, as Nozzle now going to be taken down as Epic rejoins. Steeping forward, the Kitsune Rush invested.
So
they find the eliminations, and yeah, so damn close, but couldn't quite make it happen.
Oh, it's the GOAT versus the GOAT, man. It's Nozzle versus Hofak. He had the initial start, but the Tree of Life comes out. He stays behind it. The positioning of the Tree of Life, fantastic, by the way, so Nozzle can't really be hit by a lot of damage, plus the healing output is insane, so he lives super long, gets the whole hog kill, but they're not able to successfully get the cap, unfortunately, with some good contests coming through.
Looking for the hook midair there onto the Lucio. Hesty able to stay elusive. His Rampage bleed taking Bambi down very low. Does have the dupe available, but Hofak going to be able to find the rail shot before he can actually utilize those iframes. And the fight is just taken all the way back over here towards the spawn room doors, so the point will be secured for Revati.
Good call from Revati to force that fight with the ult advantages they had away from the point. Try to burst down Nozzle once again, knowing this time he's not going to have a tree to keep him healed up. And he had some decent opportunities there for a hook pick. Like, for example, if he had caught Hesty, that might have actually changed the tide of battle, but missed it. And then the next hook, unfortunately, he just got burned down during it. As well as a little party turret trio setup here as the basket is hit. See if we're going to see any changes here. I'm looking at Revati, of course, because we're definitely not going to see any changes from Namakuji. Wait, that's here it go. The core is still the same.
As long as Nozzle's on the Hog, we don't care.
And CC2 on the Hanzo, of course.
Looks like Jisoo, yep, will just be sticking with this one. And the CC2 again, swapping over onto the Hanzo. Back over onto that Sojourn. So, minor changes for Namakuji.
First hook Still waiting to see if it's going to give us anything, any joy. Building up his ult right now. Bossa up to 20.
Kind of stuck into the corner there with that disruptor shot pushing him forward. Nozzle just trying to find some stability in the HP bars. Bambi desperately trying to find the kill over on towards Hopeback, but Haratun coming through, disrupting that 1v1, does find the elimination. So first blood going to be found here from Revati, and now the rest is just going to start spilling forward. As Minhyuk just able to find Bossa there with a knife, and Namakuji going to have to reset and go again.
Yeah, that was, again, the kind of main crux of the problem here is Bambi getting picked early by Haratun, and then comp kind of falls apart without the damage to hit anyone who's hooked. And the hooks aren't always coming through. They're playing really well around this hog so far. There's one.
Ooh, they're pushing in the corner. Yep, looking for it, but still so much damage taken here by Namakuji on this approach. The disruptor shot is Hopeback getting closer and closer to having that clock on the line, and Nozzle just trying to push, trying to fish for something. Ends up getting taken down. It's the healing not able to be found there, as once more Revati pushing forward here towards the dropship.
Hopeback is hitting the shots, man, even at long range. Even if it's not a railgun, he's getting headshots on the Nozzle. Big hitbox on that one. As you can see here, he is just charging him up to 100 off the hog and then popping him so close to the Tree of Life, but they need to get onto the point to use it.
Bambi now having swapped over onto the Tracer, just going to be looking to try to apply some flank pressure as Tree of Life does come through, but even with that, Nozzle just going to be taken down, absolutely disappears. Hopeback in the meantime. This is the day of the shooting gallery for him. 2 kills, now a third coming through. As they look for a little bit more, but that's going to be the team kills. We'll apply the graphic.
Yeah.
And 60% now crested as Revati look for back-to-back 100 to zeros.
Yeah, they were sitting on the enemy tree there, just getting some shade here on the point as the Dragon Blade is ready for Haratun now. Sound barrier as well, so cracking this is going to be so tough without the Lifeweaver ultimate. You just don't have the same sustain. Here we go.
Axe coming in, CC2 going to be taken down as Minhyuk just able to get on top of the Hanzo, finding the elimination. Blade not really even needing to do too much. Jisoo will get a parting kill over onto Epic as Nozzle will find Minhyuk, so maybe a bit of an over pursuit, maybe an opportunity to try to get themselves over to this point, but they need to do it damn soon. As Haratun will be able to find Jisoo though. Now Bambi gone, so it's really just on Nozzle trying to push forward here. They need to get that touch soon, so finds one with a whole hog, still working his way over, still taking damage on the approach.
They should get a cap here. The question is, can they hold the next fight? Because they got that pick on the Haratun, they get onto the point, but that sound barrier is still available. The Rampage still is up.
He's on the flank though, and he manages to find Epic.
That's a good start.
It does get one. Up onto the pedal there. Bossa just trying to avoid Minhyuk, because now he's going to be hooked in once more. Taken low. Kill not going to be found, though. Beat going to be dropped in. Finding the 4 players here from Revati, keeping them alive. CC2 going to be taken down. Now Bossa as well under fire. Falls, and Bambi, not sure what happened. Might have gone off the side of the map. Either way, is out of the fight. Nozzle's only able to find one. The flip is back into their control, and Revati are looking to close this out. Nozzle trying to get the retouch. Can't make it happen.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Only got a little bit of percentage, but that is going to be Revati taking Samoa 2-0.
Not sure what happened to Bambi there. Maybe he was like blinking when the pedal went up, and I didn't see him on that pedal, but maybe I'm just guessing. Like maybe he was like blinking as the pedal went up, and then he like flew off the side or something. I mean, we've seen weird stuff happen with the pedal before, where you just don't expect it and you end up getting messed up by it. They were trying to use it actually there to disrupt the Genji. It didn't end up working out, unfortunately. But yeah, the Roadhog. It had some use there. Like the opening picks were good, and then they were able to get on the point. The Lifeweaver ultimate wasn't able to keep him alive, but they still were able to get back onto the point one time. The whole hog kill was good onto Haratun. But otherwise, just looks like a case of Honeyfack shooting a Roadhog. Honeyfack, he hates that I said he was the GOAT, but now Nozzle's more popular than him, so he's trying to put him down.
Just trying to earn that public favor back.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, good opener to be able to do just that. I mean, everybody on Revati clearly firing on all cylinders here, and maybe we just need some more time for Namakuji to warm up, get themselves nice and limbered up here to slide into this one. But it is looking rough because on the opposite side, as far as tanks go, people that you want to be hooking in towards you to try to blow up, Junker Queen is not necessarily the best option because you pull her in, she brings out the axe, suddenly you're bleeding, you're taking a lot of damage.
You're trying to get pulled back by the Lifeweaver, but then she just pulls you back with the knife as well, and you can't really get out, and yeah, it's a really tough one. And obviously she does a ton of damage if she's close to you with her shotgun, so yeah, it's rough, but it was a good comp, obviously from Revati.
Yep.
The Junker Queen, very popular on Control, and it ended up being very successful there. Blizzard World, I mean, Hybrid just in general, really tough for Roadhog outside of A on defense. So if they are defending first, which I actually missed, my apologies to everyone, then they need to make that defense count. Same, of course, on the attack. A little bit tougher once you get past there. But if you can't cap 8 in general, then, we don't even have to have a conversation about that. So, first defense, super important here for the Namakuji brothers.
That it is. We'll see. We can look a little bit more alive coming into this map as Blizzard World is ready to go. So let's go ahead and jump right into this one. See if Namakuji can even the scoreline or if Revati is going to be taking a very strong early lead.
Just taking a look at Murloc Island. It's very small, like Murlocs. Very empty. Murlocs, they decided to go on to, they got their college education. They're like, I don't want to stay on Murloc Island. I'm going elsewhere. How about checking out that Protoss pylon area? That's where I want to be.
That's the first part of Blizzard World that will end up getting shut down and rebuilt into something else,
Oh. Okay, maybe Snacks Rammus then. All right, so we know what we're going to get with Namakuji. They're attacking first. Let's see if they can crack A here, as Hofak is going to be playing the Ashe, which is fantastic into Roadhog on A defense. They also have tons of poke with the Alari and the Batiste, and they've got the shielding that, CC2 might be able to try to find something into if he could break that. But they're not really running a poke comp, so it doesn't necessarily matter.
Okay. Well, here comes the approach for Secretion, finding its target. There is a lot of work that Nozzle can do going up against the Sigma. Plenty of ways to try to interrupt a lot of the abilities that he's going to look to utilize, especially once those fluxes do come into play. And so far, Epic going to be finding the opening kills. Bambi going to be sniped out here at the Alari, finding value.
Trying to use the pedal to get above that Sigma shield and maybe grab a hook, but he doesn't hit anybody.
Okay, CC2 though, able to shut down the flank. Harderton going to be picked off. A nice headshot there from him. Meantime, Hopak's still just sitting on these long sight lines, pretty much unhindered as Hesty gonna get pulled in. Immortality Field is gonna be forced out. There's a life grip, just go ahead, yank. Nozzle back over in towards the safe
That's position. The problem. Even if you use the pedal, then you get the hook. They have Immortality Field, so it's just really hard to actually get that initial elimination as Bambi is on a wide flank.
He's trying to go up here, try to reinforce his position that Nozzle was taking, but unfortunately they both are gonna be shut down, so even with forcing out the Immortality Field, CT2 finding that opening pick on the Harderton, they couldn't approach the point. So now just gonna have to reset and go again.
Choke point fully under Revati's control. No pressure here onto Honey Factory. Even with the reset, they don't have any dive heroes, so I mean, basically Hofak is never going to be in any danger. He can just do damage for free. See, the pedal gets anything, goes over the shield, and that's that.
Yep, the jump up over the top, not able to find too much of anything there. His Hofak headshot, going to be able to take out Bambi. Believe he had him burning down with the dynamite as well. And his Immortality Field did have to be used there from Hesty just to try to keep him alive. Discord Orb hoping to soften up that Baptiste just a little bit, but the kill cannot be found as Hofak again, just turning his sights over. Helps find the confirmed kill there on a CC2. So for now, the hold is going to continue as half the time bank has been drained. Jisoo is going to be swapping.
The other problem is they can't really get to the point very easily. I'd almost rather see Jisoo just swap to Lucio and just try to go for one Hail Mary speed boost and then drop the Tree of Life on the point and see if Nozzle can whole hog his way to victory, because this clearly isn't working. I mean, I think it's a good idea.
Tree of Life here onto the high ground. Wraparound coming through from behind. Hook in. Hook going to be taken low, and he's going to get killed off right in the middle of that flux. So big opener now here for the side of Namakuji, but the pulse bomb from Hot Team does slow things up. Bambi looking for some targets, looking to try to build up that captive sun here. Focusing in on the heals to try to keep Nozzle alive, but it looks like that ult is not going to be found quite just yet. Whole hog now going to be invested. Nozzle looking to try to push their way forward. The healing pylon's just going to be taken down, but still stepping onto the point, continuing to prove to be a bit of a difficult thing here for the side of Namakuji. Nice hook in though, found Hesty, sets up for the headshot from Jisoo, but he himself still going to be taken low. Harass here in the back line. Harton coming away with the kill. Now CC2 is gone, and the approach, it's fallen apart.
They had such a good angle there once they were able to get on the high ground and take out Chunmin Hyuk, but there's just not much else they could do after the... Oh, okay. That's going to be a big stagger. There's not much else they could do once they get onto the point, though, if they're going to lose their DPS, right? Like, Harutun's stick onto CC2, even though it was off camera, was actually so critical because I eliminated so much of the follow-up damage. And then even with like faster spawns coming through for Namakuji brothers, they could never get that formation up anymore. And again, I like the idea of using the pedal. Like, it's a cool concept, but its success rate against Immortality Field is pretty low.
Good Dragon Strike to try to clear that high ground, but still players falling by the wayside as Jisoo and Bambi both taking out. CC2 again finding an opener here as Hesty will get dropped, but still need to go for the approach here onto the point. Hofak is waiting. Another bomb nearly built up. Hesty now going to be swapping over onto that Kiriko to try to rejoin a little bit faster. The sun is in. The kill is confirmed. Nozzle going to be taken down. CC2 steps forward, does manage to get that overtime tag, but just will not be able to find the eliminations needed to try to get any ticks coming in. A full hold here from the side of her body.
Yeah, Bambi trying to get in there and grab some additional overtime, but not able to close the gap. And like the Namakuji brothers composition is one of those things where you're like, that's so crazy, it just might work, because it's got all the tools, right? You have the pedal to get the Roadhog into position, even against high ground poke. You have burst damage with Hanzo, where you can just use the, storm arrows to just try to burst down anybody that gets caught by a hook, because you have that follow-up quick damage that you can layer onto that hooked target. Break the tank line, and then push onto the point. You've got insane healing with Life Weaver, especially if you have Tree of Life. Like, the concept is really good. Like, I absolutely think this is viable, especially if you're playing with your friends, you know, at lower level against an uncoordinated team. You could smash, but, you know, they kind of tried that repeated approach, which is perhaps why they chose this map in the first place, and just wasn't able to actually work. Minus the one time where they were able to finally break Junmin Hyuk, but DPS lineup couldn't live up to Harutun's flank, and so Namakuji brothers, they need a fuller hold. But this is what I was saying about this comp. Stronger on defense than it is on attack. Maybe they could make this a draw. If they play it perfectly, if they never lose momentum, I mean, that's the dream if you're a Nozzle fan. And we all are, aren't we?
I mean, yeah. Even if people say they're not a Nozzle fan, they really are deep down a Nozzle fan.
They are.
They just don't want to seem like they're conforming to society's norms. Trying to be a rebel, but looks like Hofak just going to be pushing forward here with the Widowmaker, and he's sticking on it for quite some time. Checking the close angles to see if there's any cheeky lurks. Is okay. CC2 with a great opening headshot. Does take down Epic. Autotune now going to be moving over onto the Tracer as Back gets himself in a position. Cannot find the elimination. He put some shots into CC2, but Widely is going to have to just back away. Looks like he is committed to this, at least for a little while
I mean, he just wants to try to get a pick onto CC2, because then they can just rush through. And I think that's the concept. Obviously, with Tree of Life, you can then win the fight on the point with insane healing. So that's a really nice, you know, piece of the puzzle here for Revati. Just outlast their healing and win out on the point with a Sigma just pushing through the Hog, figure creation, stuff like that.
Oh,
there's the pick on the Bambi.
No, Bambi. Found him. Hofak coming away with the kill. Poison Trap as well, just looking to whittle them lower as the rest of Revati now spill forward out onto the point. Again, they only need to get this singular tick. The contest has to be there. Nozzle now working his way forward. Has the touch for now, just trying to play around some of the structures here. But just like that, it will be the push-up as Revati will be able to move forward in this series. Now 2-0 Namakuji. Once more in a position where they're going to have to try to get a reverse sweep if they want to find that second series win.
Yeah, it was, you know, a nice attempt. I think the Widowmaker was actually a really cool tech because this comp falls apart the second anyone dies, especially the DPS, which is the vulnerable target to the Widowmaker. So really, really cool move there from Hofak, and he finds success with it. And right now, he's definitely leading the charge for me in terms of player of the match, just because he's been so consistent. Yeah,
I mean, the Sojourn play on the first map, into just everything that we saw from him there. The Ashe, the Widowmaker, both looking fairly clean on the side of Blizzard World. So I think he is going to be a decent front runner here for the side of Revati, but it ain't over till it's over. So we have at least one more map that's going to be coming up. That's going to be Push. So don't go anywhere. Alrighty, well, it's time to go into our third map here of our second series of the day and see whether or not the Namakuji brothers can start the run back, because now they need a reverse sweep if they want to find that second series victory.
Yeah, 3 wins in a row. Nozzle, does he have it in him? Can he do it?
I think Nozzle has it in him.
Yeah.
It's some of the rest of the team that there's, I think, more concerns about, because clearly the Roadhog is not an issue.
Bambi and CC2 having some trouble against the GOAT, but that's okay. And Hovac, he's just having a good day. You know, he's been under zero pressure because playing against Roadhog, he's like, no pesky Doombus, no Genji, no Tracer? You mean I could just play Sojourn and never have to worry about my positioning and just only click on their heads? That's what I'm about. That's what he's about. We're going to New Queen Street, so relevance, not any on the side of Namakuji Brothers. They don't care about Esperanza Coliseum, New Queen Street. They're going to play Namakuji Brothers comp.
Yep, and I mean, this was, one of the maps. I believe this was the thing that rounded out their win versus Nyam. So maybe this could be the staging ground for yet another victory. Maybe they can get that map taken away. Or maybe Revati will just kind of shut them down, because this is also going to be a really good map for Sojourn and Ash.
Yeah, and let's see. Maybe CC2 gets some really lucky picks, or some really skilled picks, depending on the case, because Sonys is getting those when he's spamming, Sonys is getting them when he's accurate and getting those headshots early on in the round.
Alrighty, well, game is ready to go, so let's go ahead and jump into New Queen Street and see if Namakuji can start the run back. Alrighty. I wonder what they're gonna play.
I don't. I have a feeling. I'm gonna see Hanzo, Echo, Roadhog, Kiriko, and Lifeweaver. Oh, nope, they're going for on this one. Looking for a little Zenyatta action.
Okay.
Which is what they did last time on this map as well. But Revati. Hold on. A little bit of a respect hover. A little bit of respect hover. Kataru, he's subbed in.
He's moving towards the door.
Oh, they're gonna Pandia.
Okay.
Except Hofac is not. He's not in on the meme because he's the GOAT. He's like, I'm actually gonna kill them.
They are going for the firm handshakes, Roadhog battle. Let's see who comes out on top. I mean, we did, unfortunately, for Nozzle's sake, see him getting kind of brutalized just yesterday by Bendia. Dox was having a whale of a time bringing out that Roadhog on Coliseum. Let's see if Kotaro can give him the same treatment, or if he will suffer at the hands here of this Roadhog god.
I mean, even though he doesn't have the same burst that Hanzo does, he will still do a lot of damage.
There's the pull in, and he goes so very low, but it's actually going to be Epic who finds an opening kill. CC2 going to be taken out, but now Jisoo able to finish the job. This Kotaro will fall. So for now, Bot going to be moving forward. Now Hessie going to be picked off as well, as Nozzle is able to find one. Looking for a little bit more. Epic out in the open, going to be taken down. Hofac just going to be sliding away, and it looks like we're going to have a pause.
Revati just couldn't accept. They were like, wait, we're losing to this right now. I need to pause.
I will say.
Then they remembered they were playing it as well.
maybe I'm stretching here, but it did look like Epic was kind of stuck. Yeah. He wasn't really moving around. Yeah. So I'm curious if we maybe had a disconnect.
Could have been. Or maybe it just looked like that to your untrained eyes, because when Nozzle hooks, man, every time stops.
That's true.
Your heart stops.
It could be that. It could just be that.
It was just like we saw his first person view in game, but we saw his first person view in his mind, where he was like, Zenyatta is stationary, I will hook it.
When Nozzle's playing, it's like was that early 2000s movie like Clock Stoppers, where they get like the magic watch. Not magic, but it's like some technology that freezes time around you.
Sounds like some Spy Kids shenanigans.
It was in that era. I'm pretty sure it was called Clock Stoppers.
Clock Stoppers. Well,
I remember seeing ads for that one all the time when I was a kid. It probably came out when I was maybe like 8 or 9 years old.
I'm trying to think if there was that Adam Sandler movie with the TV remote.
Well, that was Click.
Yeah.
That is an interesting movie.
So we do have a Revati monitor issue, so perhaps they Like, perhaps he stopped moving because his monitor turned off or something like that.
All their monitors stopped working, so they actually don't know that they're also playing the Roadhog comp right now.
Oh, they just can't see.
So they had no idea what composition they're actually running at the moment. But it should be hopefully all good, taken care of pretty quickly here.
Yeah.
Looks like, okay, I'm getting the word that we are on pausing, so we're going to go right back into the action here after Epic got taken down.
See if they can recover, as obviously the cart is going Namakuji's way here for now, and it's a comp that's hard to break with what Revati are mirroring if you are not in position to look for hooks onto the back line, as Hovak has built up a lot of this overclock since he's done a ton of damage. Hasn't led to meaningful eliminations, but see if this is the winning hook.
Ooh, the pull forward. I mean, Discord Orbs and all really trying to work Nozzle down. Eventually, Hovak is able to find the kill. Now sliding forward here, looking to try to duke it out against CC2. Forces him off that high ground. Disruptive shot. Smattering of damage going to be found there on the Jisoo as well. As CC2 is in a really rough position. Hovak, he's set his target. He's able to find his mark. Finds the elimination. The rail will take out Jisoo as Hovak says, you know what? I'm not going to conform to your silly composition. The rest of my team, you guys can run that stuff, but I'm going to take this dead seriously.
Yeah, Hovak is the straight man in this composition. He's like, no, you guys can do that Pandia mirror that we saw yesterday and play a close game. I'm here to actually close this out 3-0. I got a date later, and I don't have time for this. Harutoon does have duplicates, so they could actually go for the double Roadhog Namakuji Brothers composition.
That is very true.
That's rare, because usually when Bambi's on Echo, the enemy team doesn't have a Roadhog, but this time Harutoon can actually get a second one.
Okay, well, for now, not going to be necessary. As the headshot comes in, CC2 does get taken out. I am curious what Harutoon is going to go for, because obviously, you know, something like the Tracer could be high value. The Roadhog itself can build up for a very fast whole hog. In the meantime, Revati on this push now, making their way over to the checkpoint, so a brief little pause.
I also think grabbing the Hanzo could be quite huge as well. Just looking to, you know, blow up the enemy Roadhog very quickly. See what he decides to go for. As Epic, man, his Discord value has been so high. He's in a trance.
Okay, whole hog now going to be pulled out here from Nozzle. Wrapping around, grabbing the bot, and just forcing them away for the time being. Build up on the rail, though. Bambi going to be taken out. So back able to find one. CC2 taken out by Harutoon at the same time. Tree now going to be invested here from Hesti, as this push can very well continue. Drift back there from Jisoo dangerously low. Harutoon in the meantime getting on top of Basa Basa is able to find that elimination.
So they have the Transcendence advantage, perhaps, but with these compositions, it doesn't necessarily matter. Now, Kotaro is down, so they are able to burst him before he can whole hog, and that's actually pretty significant. Let's see how much ground they can gain. As I thought he was maybe going to commit there onto Nozzle, but decides not to.
Back to sliding out. Thinking about when he can cross that doorway. Does manage to make it all the way out to safety. So just some space and respect can be shown here from the side of Revati, not wanting to overstep and get picked off.
Harutoon in a really nice position here. Just hovering away from CC2's threat range.
Taro for now just going to be holding the bot, trying to keep it locked in position here as the Dragon Strike looks to try to force him out into the open. Discord Orb is going to be there as the dupe comes through, and it is going to be that Hanzo as you were talking about.
Yeah, it doesn't really end up mattering all too much.
CC2 somehow staying alive there. Those rail shots not able to find the kill. Now the Dragon Strike going to be coming in. Bambi in the meantime, the beam able to take out Epic. He and Jisoo both going to be dangerously low on HP bars as Nozzle continues to duke it out here around the corner versus Kotaro with the help of CC2, who manages to double up and find another elimination. That is going to be bot control here in the hands of Namakuji. Need to be careful as the hook goes wide. Nozzle taking a breather, trying to stay alive. Whole hog at the ready. Throws down the trap, looking for Hovak, who turns his sights over to CC2, finds one, but Nozzle eventually will be able to get him.
Yep, Hovak will take out CC2, so a lot of that damage is gone now. Namakuji Brothers going to have to try to regroup. They have the Tree of Life, so they should be able to hold on to the bot if they can get on top of it here. As Nozzle, one-man army here as the rest of his team does regroup, as I was mentioning. CC2 on his way back over. Epic now has Transcendence advantage, but again, it's often about the first pick, not really the longer fight that these are being decided by.
Oh, and
speaking of
getting the better there of Harutoon. Now it's going to go for the dupe. Throws out another Discord Orb here, looking to just whittle away at Kotaro, charging up that right click. Transcendence going to be forced out here from Epic, but Bambi now has one of his own online. He's just using that to escort this whole hog forward, keeping Nozzle alive. Well, now expiring. Tree of Life still going to be available here in their back pocket, and now is going to be dropped down onto the bot as they look to approach in for this checkpoint. Is a couple meters away, and for now, Looks like just a life grip, going back out to safety, but the contest not really there. Namakuji with a chance to go ahead and try to take this one away for free as Kotaro, is going to be stuck in the corner, looking to take a breather.
Yeah, so going to get his way out of there.
Bot's being stolen now.
Carts back over to Revati's side, and need to see something drastic here out of the Namakuji brothers, because CC2 is just not making the same impact HOFAC's about to make with this overclock.
Yep, overclock is popped. Howderton getting the better of Bambi there with the sticky bombs.
Oh, Nozzle!
Pull in, HOFAC trying to stand his ground. Immortality field is there, and he's eventually able to find that full charge shot.
It's not allowed!
He takes him out. Jisoo now under fire. Epic gonna have to break his line of sight here.
Oh man, the almost denial of the overclock.
Oh, and the hook in on the Jisoo. He's got nowhere to go except for that nice little life grip. Does come in, so Boss able to save him, but unfortunately for Namakuji, the bot once more is in a push position.
Yeah, the bot is just so far away from the Namakuji brothers, and see if they can... Jisoo?
Oh, the beam.
Oh boy.
And Jisoo not able to get the ult online. Whole hog out from Kotaro, able to just take out Nozzle, and that is going to be a team kill now as Bossa will fall. The push once again moving forward. Fly the graphic as they're looking for the full push.
I guess the idea with why Jisoo stood out there like that was that he was going to... Okay, Epic's just going to flank Trance.
Oh my god. He's just flanking. He's just trying to get this elimination out. Took Bambi low initially, but now Bambi does stay alive. Howderton in the meantime going to be broken out of that duplicate. It's Bossa getting worked lower and lower, having swapped over onto the Moira. Dupe now in. Bambi adding another hog into the mix. HOFAC able to take out one, takes out the other. Forces him right back into the Echo form. Rail shot finds CC2. And that is just going to be the push coming to fruition here. As Revati, they say, yep, we can do what you're doing and do it a little bit better. They go for the dupe, they go for the win, and they have it 3-0.
I think HOFAC just was a bit of a party pooper on that one, not matching it. He just decided, he was like, listen, I'm just going to play Sojourn, that's what I do, and I want to win. And the rest of the team was like, no, let's have fun. And he said, no, I want to win. And then he did. And there were some cool moments, like, we saw some pretty good flanks from Epic. Like that last one there was interesting. He had Trance though, so he was never really at any risk.
Yeah.
Jisoo, I think, died in that final moment because he was at like 96%. I think he was standing there because he was going to try to get like one or two more left clicks and then press Q and then help his team win that ensuing fight. But I don't want to say that Nozzle got outplayed by Kotaro, because I think that did happen with Pandia yesterday, like where he actually did end up losing out in the Roadhog v Roadhog. Because he definitely looked to be the better hog and found some successful picks, but the rest of his team just wasn't able to stand up to HOFAC, who was able to consistently layer tons of damage onto him and his DPSs. So it just felt like he was fighting a losing battle. And Nozzle, he sometimes can, but usually can't get it done alone. And so, you know, some of those really nice hooks didn't end up leading to anything.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really good day overall for HOFAC as well as Howderton, who was just putting up numbers with that Echo, just looking damn clean with it. So... rough, but what can you do? This is going to be another 3-0 here, as Revati not allowing for that second match win, not allowing for another map win to come through here for the side of Namakuji. But I was discussing this with Avril and Jaws the other day. It seems that, you know, they got to lose 2 games, then win the third. This is their second loss. They win the next match. That's how it goes.
Yeah, that's
doesn't matter. Oh, it's versus Varel? Well, I guess Namakuji just win it.
Is it actually versus Varel?
I have no idea.
Hold on, let me check. It's versus a Rise Project, actually.
Oh, okay. Versus the Rise Project, who we're going to get ready to see in our third and final series of the evening.
Yeah.
But
you know,
first,
maybe.
we have to figure out who our player of the match is.
Oh, we know who it is. It's the GOAT.
So, yeah, I mean, let's just go ahead and fly the graphic. It's HOFAC.
It's HOFAC, of course it is. He had a fantastic series, and setting up tons of big railguns, getting picks on the CC2, which, you know, ended up being so important, as CC2 was so much of their damage. You know, we're going to watch a little bit of him torturing Nozzle as well on control. And then once they had control of these fights, they just pushed it to the edge over and over and over again, as my man Nozzle is trying to shut him down, struggling. I don't like what he's doing to my man Nozzle, but yeah, it was a very one-sided series. And if you've been watching OWCS Japan, you know that's how it goes with Namakuji. They want to play this. It is struggling, but I respect the passion. I respect the commitment, you know, the confidence to just show up every day. And then Nozzle's playing in a hotel room I did actually go to his Twitter. He followed me on Twitter. I followed him back, so now I know we're officially friends. He posted a picture of his upgraded setup at his new hotel that we did have Unknown talking about yesterday. Let's see if they can get that third win. You know, the 2 losses into the third one. So every third series, maybe you're right. Maybe that's what's going to happen.
A little
next
bit
time.
like runaway on the an odd year, that kind of thing. So even years, not great form, but they'll always get it on the third cycle. That could very well be the case, and time will tell. But of course, we're going to have our eyes continuously trained on Namakuji for every single appearance that they do make here in the tournament. But we're not done yet. We do have one more matchup, and I think this one actually could low-key be a banger.
It's going to be the best one of the day.
Yeah, Arise Project were looking quite good in their opener. They're going up against Insomnia, who was able to take a map off of Errol just yesterday, so I think that this is going to make for a bit more tight-knit Overwatch, so maybe no more 3-0s. Maybe we can dispel that unless one of these teams just goes absolutely crazy. So we're going to find out, but first, of course, we are going to take a break. Let the players get ready. Let us have a little bit of a reprieve, and then we'll be diving into that series, so don't go anywhere. All right, it's time now to go into our final series here of the evening and see if the 3 Overwatch plague has been cured. So far, it's been very one-sided affairs, and now we get to see if Insomnia and Arise Project can turn the tide of that, give us a closer series.
Yeah, that's what we're going to look to see. Arise Project, we only have one series of data on them, and they 3-0'd Hayabusa, so it doesn't feel like we know that much just yet about how they're going to stack up against stronger teams. Insomnia started off with a 3-1 over Pandia, which seemed like, okay, Pandia's decent, but we didn't 3-0 there, so how strong are they? We're not sure. And then they took a game off of Varel, and 2 of those other games were very close, so almost actually brought us to a 5-game series. So I think they're massive favorites coming in today based on what we saw from Arise last week. But again, too early to judge, so tonight's going to be a really nice test for both of these teams, I think. See if Insomnia can continue the momentum, even though they lost, and to see if Arise, of course, can carry their momentum forward.
Yeah, I mean, right now, the Varel is the test. How do you stack up against them? That gives a pretty good indicator about your overall standing, your power level here in the tournament. For Arise Project, as mentioned, I think, they were looking very clean in their game, and that's why I think that this could end up being a very close series. But given that, it was against Hayabusa, who is a team that have had their struggles for sure, it is difficult to say. So this will be kind of the moment for Arise Project to really show whether or not they can hang with the big dogs.
Yeah, that will be the test. It's our final match of the day. It's actually starting an hour early, or an hour earlier than it was scheduled because of the extremely one-sided 3-0. Both 3-0s were actually extremely one-sided. So, you got a 3-0 that's close, like the Runaway Falcon series, and you got a 3-0 that is what we saw today.
Yep. Just depends on which way the pendulum swings on a given day, and it has been more on the speedy side. But now we'll take a look now at the starting roster here for the side of Insomnia.
Yeah, so Leonoptrix playing the Junker Queen variant of the Echo Tracer composition, and then Godsam playing actually the Diva. So really unique playstyle we saw from this squad, and kind of staying fairly meta, let's say, but also, adding their own flavor onto it. So on Control, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Leonoptrix once again pull out the Junker Queen. We'll see where we're going for that first map in just a little bit here, because that's going to, I think, maybe give us a hint.
Yeah. Let's see what he's going to be bringing to the table. On the opposite side, though, Arise Project. So far, again, just the one game scene, and also just these 5 players seen for the most part. We haven't seen Kutodo. We have actually, I thought LT Nest is one of their supports. Maybe I'm wrong.
He is listed as support on our data sheet, but I'm not actually 100% sure. Maybe he's changed roles, because I don't think there's any rule against that at this moment in time. So
regardless, we will have Zerafi as well as Y coming out here. They're changing things around just a little bit here.
Yeah, Y also a DPS as well. So see what they are going to be rolling with. I think the paper might be wrong.
Our sheet might just be wrong.
Yeah, I think this is probably accurate, to be honest.
It was a week ago, so I don't fully recall. But either way, I mean, this team, again, they were looking clean. So overall, it's one of the things that you can judge with the team, even if, they're going up against a fairly weak opponent, is just how cohesive they look. And overall, Arise Project did look damn cohesive.
Yeah, it certainly did. So we can see what the maps are going to look like in just a moment, find out where we're headed. Okay, so looking like it's going to be Lijiang Tower for the first one. So
King's Row.
King's Row, all right, love to see it. So on Lijiang Tower, I expect they will run the Junker Queen. I think it's really strong there. I would not even be surprised if Leonoptrix plays the Reinhardt Mei composition that we saw. So could be quite strong. Or they went Bastion, because they also ran that when we did go over to Flashpoint. So speaking of that, we're going to Saravasa if we go to a 4th map. And Colosseo will be Arise's pick for push. So if we do get to Shambhala Monastery, maybe we'll finally see Escort here. I'm not saying I think it's likely, but I do think that there's a possibility. This series is more likely than the first 2.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think that this one could end up being a very back-and-forth battle between these squads. We just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
And what, if they are going to be bringing out, you mentioned the Reinhardt. I mean, Leonoptrix, he has said that, that is his favorite. So maybe we could mix it up a little bit more.
Yeah, if we start on Control Center, that's where it's the strongest. That's where we saw, like, Panthera was like, this is where we play GOATs only before it became the the only meta pick that everyone was playing. So that's the strongest place to do it, if that's what you want to do. Otherwise, Junker Queen can be quite strong. The difference between Junker Queen and Doomfist we discussed yesterday on Unknown and I quite a bit, in that the Junker Queen, if it gets on the point, is a lot more stable, a lot more difficult to crack than the Doomfist, but doesn't have as much agency either.
No, it does not. Well, Lijiang Tower to start things off once more here as we get ready to go into control. Let's see who is going to be taking away that first map win, but I think everybody should be strapped in here because I'm expecting a bit of a longer series. We deserve it. Everybody watching out there wants it. It's been too many 3-0s in this tournament so far.
Yeah, there certainly have been a lot of those, and I would like to see less of it. I'd like to see some more competitive back and forth Overwatch. No full holds, okay, no 100-0s. Give me some exciting gameplay.
Exciting gameplay is what we are after. Let's see if these teams can deliver. So we jump into the final series of the evening with Insomnia and Arise Project.
Disconnect here, looks like, unfortunately.
Man, I love when I try to just get everybody jazzed up, woken up a little bit, getting ready to go into the game. You know, here we go, let's kick it off. And they just immediately get hit with the pause screen. It's truly my favorite thing. As we get an update on what the issue is, we will push that forward.
Yeah. Just had a disconnect. I actually didn't see who disconnected, but it looked like one of the supports.
It would be one of the supports.
Yeah. It might be why. I'm not sure, but we'll be getting back in as soon as he reconnects, which should be pretty soon. And luckily for everyone, you know, it's pretty easy to get back in the game. We didn't have this happen in the middle of the map itself, which can create issues in terms of discussions about competitive integrity and stuff like that. So it's all good. It may have just been something as simple as his game crashed in the loading screen, and so he didn't make it in, but can just rejoin.
Yeah. Should be nice and quick.
And
get things underway. It looks like, that disconnect there.
Doesn't say which player, just a P.
I think, it was one of the supports. It might have been Zerafi there, but either way, should just be a pretty fast little hit the reconnect button thing.
It was Zerafi. There we go.
Aha.
Name came in. So.
Thank you, production.
And then it went away. So I do think that maybe it's starting to get resolved.
Yeah, there we go. All right, unpausing. See, and I'll say this because maybe they will also understand, but currently my in-ear is not working, so I'm not getting any calls, but I can hear it get staticky, and so I know that they're trying to talk to me. So I heard the static, and I was like, yeah, we're getting ready to go back in the game.
Yeah, maybe convey that in our tech support group chat.
Yeah.
And we'll get that cleaned up, but not going to be a big issue at the moment, as the Inoptrix is running the Junker Queen. So it's going to be Junker Queen, Tracer Echo versus the Doomfist Echo Tracer. So keeping it very meta here, as a very quiet start to the first map. Point control going to Hadi for the moment, as you know, the first pick is so important. Ooh, that was a close call.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going for it.
XDN getting taken dangerously low.
Oh,
and at range.
Daisy.
Daisy will be able to finish it. That's going to be the Echo now. Eliminated. Huddy, in the meantime, doing quite a bit of damage. Is building up towards that pulse bomb quite nicely, but now it's going to be down one, taken down. So, Arise Project suffering some early losses, meaning Insomnia will be able to get their first grab of the point.
Cap comes through. Daisy gets another pick on the exit here from Hari, so they have Junker Queen control. They're going to have green health for the next fight. And rush advantage is slight, but it is significant.
Ooh, a ton of damage there on his Zerafi. Leonoptrix comes around the corner. He's going to be able to find that knife. Cutting down the Lucio. Axe going to go a little bit wide there. Not able to make the connection over onto down one, but now XCN getting picked off once more means that Insomnia will very easily be able to hold on to this point.
Not a ton of ults built. Luckily for Arise, they were able to disengage pretty quickly from that situation. So, see what this next push will bring us. Dan is going to have to be the engage. And otherwise, here for Arise, they can wait for Hari's Pulse Bomb to be the opening pick.
Oh, Daisy low. Recalls back out to full HP, though. Pulse Bomb still in the back pocket. Jumping forward, trying for it, but no! It's sent down into the pond. Ends up getting taken out as Zerafi, able to find that opening kill, but he will be replaced as the Duke comes through. Comes Undersea, just trying to see what he can get done here if he can build up towards that next pulse, but instead he himself is also going to be sent in as Zerafi. He is taking over the tower at the moment. Leonoptrix is going to be able to find a kill, however, as down one going to be taken down. It's in a rush now expiring. Sound barrier at the ready, dropped in by Zerafi. On the side of Arise Project, Blink now matching, as well as the knife connects, looking for some damage, looking for the pull back here. There's a Rampage going in, and oh no, everybody's just getting sent down into the pond.
Zerafi's just getting them!
Collecting so many kills for his team, but unfortunately he himself has been taken out. Now XDN is going to be gone, Honey as well. Everybody just falling to the wayside as Dan1's going to be the last one standing. Drops in here with a Meteor Strike, just looking to make a quick exit, but we'll need to get back over into the point just as fast as we are now getting ready to crest 90%.
Oh, this is looking really rough. Let's see what they decide to duplicate. It's got to be the Junker Queen. No other great option here for XDN. He could try to steal Daisy and burst somebody down, as Hari's already dead.
Taken out, Daisy will be traded. Tracer's out on either side. The punch charged up, looking for the hit there on Leonoptrix, unable to find it. The dupe is in here from XDN. Axe across, looking for some more damage, looking desperately to try to build up for that Rampage as fast as he possibly can, but damage right now just isn't being found. 4 seconds remaining here on the dupe, and he's going to be knocked out of it before he can try to find the ult. It's in a little bit more damage there with the sticky bombs before having to fade back. Pulse bomb at the ready from Hottie. Now sends it, gets the stick, but Suzu comes through. He's not going to be able to find the kill. Another dupe out from Undersea. Once again, going for the Tracer as Zerafi's been taken down off screen, and Undersea going crazy, able to find 2 kills. Dan1 now going to be eliminated, and that will be the cleanup as the team kill comes in. It's 100-0 start here for Insomnia.
Difference here in the DPS is definitely, you could feel it in terms of the just how much success they got, how much value they were getting on mirrored picks, and despite Zerafi, like, I basically want to look at this and go like, so wait, you're telling me Zerafi got 3 environmental kills and canceled 2 ultimates, and they still lost the point? I'm like, no, this might be more than 3 Overwatch. I don't want it. I'm not feeling good about it. Zerafi is, I mean, he's popping off. That was some Lee Jae-gon vibes that I was getting from him on this Lucio pick, but that alone is not going to be enough. They're going to stick with this composition, but we'll actually swap Dan1 over to the Junker Queen, so they're going to match now. It's going to be also the Moira to come through for some additional healing, so no Reinhardt, no craziness here. Just going to be Moira rather than the Kiriko for some extra healing output. Can make the Junker Queen so much stickier if you can get to the point.
I mean, Leonoptrix right now just fearlessly rushing forward, and I'm not going to connect. Sticky bombs are in, and Daisy already claiming a kill as XDN's going to be taken out. Blink under a little bit of fire, but why? Very much the same on the opposite side there with that Moira getting tagged up, needing to stay alive. So for now, Arise Project going to be held at bay, and Insomnia will take the point for themselves.
Daisy going to go off on a flank here, it looks like. Is spotted, but not caught by the knife, so they're going to hold on to control.
Next again coming out, getting a bit of damage, and Undersea going to be killed off. That one able to find elimination. Hottie as well, finding Blink. 2 kills now, the opener here for the side of Arise Project. So they're looking for a very fast flip into their favor. Leonoptrix still alive, going low. Eventually will get taken down as Dan1 is able to collect 2 kills. And just going to be at 24% here.
Yeah, XDN on this Sojourn offering a lot of damage in that last fight, and the initial breakthrough of the tanks, as Dan1 is able to win out on that one this time around. So getting them an early flip here, so competitive second round at least, as eyes on Zerafi here to see how much of that ult he can build.
Looking for the push forward here. Here's Dan1 trying to find a kill.
Pulse?
Hottie in the meantime, yep, Pulse into the back line, does find Blink. Once again, just maintaining a good tempo here is Arise Project, and finding these picks, really just staggering the members of Insomnia is going to be a good way for them to try to hold this and take us all the way into a 3rd round.
Breaking this Junker Queen comp is going to really require Undersea to duplicate the tank, push through with the ultimate coming out here, the Kitsune Rush from Karu. It's going to be the angle they're looking for.
It's Kitsune Rush, but it's also that Coalescence layered in from Y. Now the sound barrier dropped him, and Leonoptrix in the meantime isolating and picking off XDN. They find the kill. Undersea going to be taken out of the dupe. Going low, but heals come flying in, and he's able to stay stabilized. The pulse bomb also going out from Daisy, finding an immense amount of damage. Dan1 now trying to stay alive, trying to fight back. Does have that Rampage in his back pocket. Should he see a good opportunity to send it? He's going to send it now. Dashing in, but he's not able to find too much of anything there. Only going to be Blink who gets antied out. Now he's going to be antied, taken low. As Leonoptrix looks for the elimination, he's able to find it.
I don't even know who Undersea duplicated, because my eyes were on Leonoptrix in that fight. Did so much on his ultimate, but also as Daisy gets that extra exit kill, he also was able to, with the Kitsune Rush, get on top of XDN on Sojourn, and that's almost unheard of. He's able to get him with the slash there with the axe coming out, and that was the critical opening pick. The Kitsune Rush getting so much done here for Insomnia, and then Leonoptrix getting that better Rampage, the second one. And they're now in full control here. With the ults traded, it's going to be an uphill battle now for Arise.
And that it is. 70% about to be here for the son of Insomnia, and why taking down the knife already coming through. And that much more pressure now on Hottie to be able to try to find some big opener with that pulse bomb, but it's going to have to wait for the next fight as they go for a reset here. Can't really afford to have any further staggers.
Positional advantage gives them the ability to engage quickly and decisively, and Arise just getting cut into pieces, and they're going to swap over to Ramatra now, just hoping that damage mitigation is going to be enough to get them to the point. Get a Coalescence up. There's hope.
Shield as well invested, but now that's just going to be the dupe here on the Ramatra. Their own barrier, their own fists flying on the side of Insomnia as Undersea looking for some targets to try to build up towards that ultimate. Karu going to be taken down. XDM with a nice opening shot there on the rail. The point in the meantime contested, held in overtime, held in limbo. Rise Project still needing the Persevere. Leonoptrix going to be taken down. Undersea able to find one before he does end up falling, but it's felt widely going to be the fight going the way of Arise. So once more, they do manage to persevere.
Yeah, they're going to have Coalescence still for this fight, and they can control the choke point with this Ramatra. So there's some real life now here for Arise in terms of what they can do with the tools they have. Shout going to be out early here from Leonoptrix. Not really going to get a ton with it, but can get back to the point faster here with his squad. Kitsune Rush.
Now in. Hottie going to be taken low. Coalescence open first here from wide. As Seraphi going low. Needs to not Ajax the beat. Builds it up. Waits for his moment. Drops it. The shield's now coming through. Kill's not going to be found on either side. Shielding now going to be expiring. Stand one just looking to set up that slow field here on the corner, but Daisy finding Hottie, able to find the kill. Up on the high ground here, the overclock pop from XDN, looking for a target, but the Tracer just dashing, playing around the architecture so beautifully, means that he does not get caught. Pulse bomb, not going to be able to find the elimination, however, but sound barrier shielding just now dwindling on the side of Insomnia as Y will get taken down. Anti comes out onto 2. Leonoptrix setting it up with a Rampage, helps confirm the kill onto Dan 1, and that is going to be the cleanup here. Flip back into their favor, just a moment away. Further contest found there for a brief little moment by Hottie, but he gives his life for the cause. Now I don't think anybody else is going to be able to get the touch. XDN going to be taken down. The Doomfist swap was in from down 1, but he just can't get there in time. So it will be Insomnia taking Lijiang Tower 2-0.
You know, I said it before many times, but sorry, you guys caught me sitting very comfortably watching that game. I've said it many times before this season across both Korea and Japan, but the tank is really the one who dictates how the plays get made, and this dictates what type of comp you can make. But the DPSs are the stars, and if the DPSs actually just outshine their opposition so much that it just becomes a wash. Doesn't matter what tank you're running, doesn't matter if you're swapping a Ramatra, trying to get that contest. They did get the one single cap to come through, that critical one there, at around like, what, 50%, where they were back in control. But then instantly just picks come out, and Daisy and Undersea outplay their counterparts again, and then it's over, it's done. And it was a close one, 99 to 99.
Yeah.
But it felt like besides one clean team fight where they were able to surprise them with the Ramatra a little bit, they were never really in control. It felt like the most one-sided 99-99 I've seen in a while, unfortunately, but...
Well, it'd be what it do. Let's just map one out of the way, and now we have King's Row coming up next, so it could just end up being more Junker Queen v Junker Queen between these two teams.
Yeah. I imagine that we'll see a swap for Insomnia over to Doomfist, but just based on what we've seen from them already, I think we'll know a lot more when we see if Godsim is coming in or not, because if Godsim is coming in, then maybe we're going to see Diva, maybe he's going to play a Sigma, because that's really going to be the tell, as Leonoptrix is the Junker Queen player. If he stays in, they're either playing Doomfist or they're playing Junker Queen, I imagine. So I think no matter what, it's going to be Daisy and Undersea playing Tracer and Echo. I think they're very good at this. They showcased it yesterday. And on the side of Arise, they have a ton of players. This roster is massive, so maybe they want to make a substitution. It's hard to say.
Yeah, we'll find out in due time as the players do get ready and geared up to go into the second map. So we'll fly it on the bottom of your screens there if we do have any substitutions. Otherwise, could just be running with this, sticking with the same squads and getting ready to just go forward into King's Row for that second map. See who is going to be able to get a win there. But yeah, I mean, strong start. I think a decent rally back from Arise. I agree that it even with the close scoreline didn't necessarily feel like it was a 99 to 99. But it looked like they were finding their footing a little bit more, so maybe just get that first control map out of the way, have that be, your warm-up, take that first little L, and then rally back in and try to keep things nice and neck and neck.
There are some really, I guess, high skill ceiling tank heroes, as we are going to see.
Xerafi's out.
Lieutenant Nest coming in for Xerafi, and there are some like heroes for tank that you can really showcase your mechanical skill on, right? But it's like in this meta, decision making, positioning, where you stand and when you decide to go in is really the skills that you're showcasing as tank. But on DPS, it's kind of like mechanics, hands dip that you often see, like how good is your accuracy, how good is your tracking, how good is your flicking, and that's not something you can really change on the fly, which is why I think in Japan so many times we've seen one DPS duo be way stronger than the other, and then the game looks like a wash, even though the rest of the team is fine. Even the DPS players on the weaker side are not bad players on their own. That's where sometimes you could really feel the gap, and I feel like in this series so far, I feel the gap. And Undersea is out of control good on Echo. We saw him play it yesterday all day long, and I just think he's being a huge difference maker in each and every one of these team fights.
Yeah, I mean, clearly somebody that has to be handled. I mean, even with the dupes not getting the most value that they possibly could, his just neutral fighting with Echo is very, very clean. We did see XDN giving him a little bit of trouble with the initial swap over onto the Sojourn. Those rail shots are a decently reliable way to try to just at least keep him in check, if not find the kills. But still was able to come out on top in the end. So we're not expecting any changes there. We'll see what they do have for us as we do get ready to go into King's Row.
Yeah, so ban was on Hollywood for Arise. Midtown was banned by Insomnia, so not much I can glean from this, except that perhaps Arise doesn't want to end up playing any long-range hit scan. Hollywood a lot stronger for that. Sojourn super strong there. King's Row means they're going to be a little more tightly packed, so perhaps they have a different composition, Insomnia, that is to say, that they want to play. They did not sub Godsam in, so just going to be sticking with the Inoptrix. So you alluded to it being the Junker Queen comp coming back for them. I think it's definitely possible. I don't think they're going to run Reinhardt. Doomfist, though, super standard. They're very good at it. They have a lot of options. For Arise, it's really just trying to figure out how they can tighten things up.
Well, I, for one, would love to see some Reinhardt gameplay. Only got it once, and it was not good, and it was a desperate bid on Esperanza.
It was good at first.
Well, I'm saying I've only cast it once.
Oh,
not talking about Leonoptrix playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was somebody, I forget who it was. They were going for a desperate bid. It was on my first day. And it was pretty rough. I'd love to see it being piloted for realsies, but whether or not that's going to happen, it seems unlikely. But the game is ready, so let's go ahead and stop all of our babbling. Let's get into the action. So we're going to King's Row to see if Insomnia is going to be able to start things off with a 2-0. And once again, bring us the prophesized 3-0 win. We certainly hope that's not the case.
Winston hover. Aw. We did see Winston on the first day on King's Row.
It's been around a little bit. Somebody else was also playing it on Esperanza. So we have seen a bit of Winston. Tiny little bit of that scientist coming through, but
just a little bit.
Widely has been the Doomfist Queen meta.
Yeah, it certainly has been. Arise is going to stick to our most meta standard Echo Tracer Doom comp. A little bit of a peek here from Daisy, and it looks like they're planning on running the Junker Queen.
I remember when all of these teams were playing Wrecking Ball.
Yeah, I don't like that as much as this, so I'm happy with this.
All right, well, Daisy now, that's not able to fish for too much of anything, does swap over to the Tracer, looks to join in with the rest of the squad. Is Hottie just going to be hovering off on that right-hand side, looking to watch the stairs, but, I mean, Leonoptrix, he's just full +4 all the way through Hotel, and he's able to find XDN. What a quick punish, just backed up by the Lucio. Why will be able to take out Daisy, however. Nice headshot there on the Kunai, finding that elimination, but now Dan1 is going to be taken down. That's 2 kills found, and Insomnia very quickly get themselves over the point for the cap.
That might just be the cap straight up.
Yeah.
I mean, they have one chance to contest here, but it's just going to feed over resources. Nice try here by Hari. Will just recall out, and that's going to be the give of a... So Undersea will be able to secure the kill there. Leonoptrix just carried that by pushing the Echo and killing him. That's not supposed to happen, but that did happen with great left-click accuracy from Leonoptrix. And once XDN was down, they just couldn't actually support Dan1, and then he was the next target as the rest of the team was split. Knife also going to get some value here as well. And this team is just on a roll right now.
I mean, no bamboozle, no merry-go-round play, just a full send through the hotel. And I mean, clearly, XCN and Arise Project overall not prepared for that speed and aggression that was coming towards them. And now, potential for a chance here at stability as we are in the streets phase. Cart going to be getting brought forward through the archway here.
Getting around this corner can be tricky for the Echo Tracer because there's not a lot of space to work with, but the Obnoxious can at least help break the shield coming out from Dan
though, finding an opening, and Potty just dashing forward into the headshots, ends up getting taken down. There's the stick out onto the Ramatra. Won't find the killing blow. That'll be taken by Leonoptrix, who's also able to find a second, but that is going to be an extended team kill.
Leonoptrix played that so well into Dan 1, pushed through there, and then it gave the space for Daisy. You know, I was mentioning just before that fight that it's hard for Tracer to find flank angles, but if you can push the enemy tank that efficiently, that effectively, then Daisy has free reign. He's going to hit those shots. He's going to grab 2, and they get a free push around the corner. One of the toughest parts of King's Row. No challenge for them, and contesting the point now is Arise, but they do not have those key support ultimates.
Okay, the drop down here, dive into the back line. The call was made. It's not even the dupe being brought in. Undersea just collecting 3 quick kills in the blink of an eye, looking for a 4th. That's good damage out there. He's going to get pushed back. Won't be able to find an ace here as Daisy will collect the final 2 kills, but yeah, I mean, just giving a wave to the corpses as they tumble down below.
He almost was able to get a 4K there, as you mentioned, and still no sound barrier here. That's B going over.
Oh, okay. Daisy going pretty deep there, down to 32 HP, drops down on the low ground. Heals now coming through, covering fire from Undersea, keeping him protected. I feel like Daisy was playing that thinking that he already had a pulse bomb ready, but
he did not.
He's still a little ways away from that one, but I mean, swing in from behind. He's a Rise Project trying to whip their way around into the back lines here of Insomnia, but they need to still gain control of this card. Rampage goes across, not actually finding anything. I think Leonoptrix full whipped it. That means that Blink and Daisy now going to be taken out. There's finally a fight win coming through here for Arise.
Yeah, that was a pretty weak Rampage, but against this composition, you're probably only going to be able to hit maybe Ramatra and, if you're lucky, the Moira. At the end of the day, it's just really tough to actually pull off, but this is really huge for Arise because they get the high ground back. They did not have that at the initial part of that defense, which was my biggest concern. One of the biggest challenges of running this composition with the Ramatra is taking that back is so hard, but they win this fight. Can now operate around this room here. And is that actually a stick? It doesn't look like it.
No, Pulse not going to be able to find anything there. Could have been a Suzu. Drop it off him.
Annihilation.
For a double Pulse fight here from Insomnia, but without Leonoptrix, it still proves to be a bit difficult. But there's going to be a stick. Goes in, finds some damage. Kill not going to be found, however, as Dan 1 can just punch his way through Daisy, taking him down. The dupe will now expire, and Insomnia have to go for a reset.
Yeah, they still have their support ultimates, though, which is the most critical part of this, because, yes, they did hold, but will they be able to match the sound barrier here? That's going to be up to Lieutenant Nest. If he can actually make this happen, if he can sound barrier second, and Ramatra get in there and start punching, they have a pretty good chance of stalling this out.
Okay, Kitsune rushing out, coming through in response to the push forward. Aggressive beat out from Nest as well. Nice Project trying to find a kill. Leonoptrix caught into the corner, going to be taken down low as Dan 1 eating that pulse bomb, and the beam comes in from Undersea to confirm the kill. Nest now dropped, the push forward, 3 players get taken down. Insomnia once again looking to move the card up.
The problem with barriering like that, I mean, you want to do that on attack oftentimes because the onus is on you to push through, but with Insomnia coming towards you, just wait for their barrier first. They tried to push and pick Leonoptrix, but he's got Suzu, he's got Kiriko heals. You're just not going to kill him, and then the second sound barrier is way stronger from Blink, and that might be what cost them this map.
Slow up. Leonoptrix again, just pushing forward, acts as ready, looking for the target, unable to find the hit. Blink going to be taken down. Stan's able to find one, and okay, Undersea also going to be eliminated. The Ramatra keeping him in this one here now. As Leonoptrix knows that he's dead, just waits, dies, goes for the reset here. 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, I should say, still remaining, however, for Insomnia, but so far, good time buying here for Arise.
Yeah, Dan 1's got a pretty good Ramatra. You know, we haven't really seen it that much here in the Asia region, but he is really making it a mainstay pick for himself, and Insomnia will have the ability to duplicate it if they want. They might even want to duplicate the Moira here. Or Undersea.
Pulse. Oh.
Scary.
Yeah, unable to find the kill with it, but Leonoptrix in the meantime. Knife, axe, both finding value. Dupe now out, looking to use the Ramatra against them. Nest's going to be taken down, and that is going to be the extended team kill as XCN comes sprinting out with that overclock, but just has no hope of trying to get this touch. The dash forward. Thought he will be able to get there for a brief little moment, but Insomnia make it to the end of King's Row with 1 minute and 53 seconds remaining.
Yeah, the sound barrier, I think, really costing Arise. That initial one where they tried to engage and blow up Leomnotrix. If you win that, you get high ground control. I mean, that's the risk that you're committing to there, is that you're going to end up getting pushed into, lose full control, and then just kind of get underseed. We underseed for a minute there, but we're back above water now.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're going to eventually get pushed into, right? But a lot of this game, to me, has felt like the DPS line for Insomnia is stronger. Again, every time we're like, okay, Arise, good hold, good defense, they've got the proper setup, and then I just watch Daisy get in the back line and kill someone, and it's like, well, I mean, they did their best, but Daisy just, he's just too good. He's breaking their lines, he's getting past their Ramatra. Undersea's dupe on Dan 1 as well just gave them a little bit more sticking power, but it wasn't even really about that. It's just about my man Daisy. He's killing people, and Leomnotrix has no fear. He trusts his team so much that this is like some actual, you know, I want to even say like Korean level coordination that they are showing us today, and what they showed us yesterday as well. Back-to-back days, tough week for them in terms of their schedule, but they do not seem phased.
Not at all. Well, how are you going to see if you can find some early advantages here for the team at the Widow Peak?
Got the golden gun.
A little bit of damage out, but also nearly falls, so does just drop down. Goes for the swap, right back over onto the Tracer. Let's see how they fare, though. It's Undersea with some really nice opening damage already at 20% towards that dupe. It's hovering around, layering in these sticky bombs.
Yeah, see how much damage Dan 1 can do here. Building up towards that ultimate. He's getting into a good position here to actually swap form.
Looking for the slow. Leomnotrix now going to be stuck here inside of that statue. Pops a shout to try to stay alive. Is backpedaling, but XCN in the meantime going to be able to take down Undersea. Opening kill found a good start here to the attack for the side of Arise Project as Dan 1 gets himself over onto the point. And displacing this Ramatra is going to prove to be damn difficult.
Yeah, Dan 1 ends up getting in there, pushing Leomnotrix back. They can go for a recontest here, but it's only really Leomnotrix. He's got Shout.
And they're still just ticking up for free at the moment. Now looking to try to isolate focus fire here onto the Lucio, and they're going to be able to do so as it's Undersea collecting too. XDN and Nest both going to fall. Now looking for a little bit more as Hardy just appears right in front of his crosshair.
Sloppy formation from Arise on the point, just not able to actually stick to it. They got on top of it and they were like, okay, well maybe they'll recontest, but they all just kind of grouped up there. And then Undersea and Daisy just come in and slam the damage onto the supports. There's just no way for them to actually fight it back anymore. Really nice play from Leomnotrix. The shout came through. The coordination with him, Undersea and Daisy was fantastic again.
Pull in onto XDN. He goes sliding back over in towards the movie theater. Against the stab. Incendiary Rush now going to be coming in. And one trying to lead the way, pushing his way over in towards Hotel, but now backpedaling as the Coalescence gets ready to expire. He sent out the healing orb. Dupe in play as Undersea goes for the Tracer, dashing forward, able to get the melee, execute there onto Hadi. Now pushing up. Pulse Bomb goes in, finds the kill. Nest is just diving in on top of it.
Undersea Tracer, it's a thing. He's good at it.
And one
He's
does survive. Okay.
He's gonna live. But now they have sound barrier. And look, this time as the attacker, Lieutenant Ness needs to barrier first. He's probably gonna have to do that to get Dan 1 into position to set up that annihilation. If they can have that longer fight and even maybe build Cole, they have better sustain here. So there's a big opportunity for Arise Project at this timing. The May as well, I love with this.
I thought it was just going to be a full send on that Rampage as they were entering in towards Hotel. He holds it for now. Now dashes across. That's going to be 2 players with the anti. Sound barrier there from Nest to try to keep them alive. Overclock pop. XCN looking for a target. Loses the Tracer for a brief little moment. Slides across. And now has the point being contested at least for the moment. Working their way up here towards the cap. The rail shot goes into Undersea's chest, taking him down low, but he pulls back, managing to stay alive. Again, cap coming through, contest not there. Nice wall timing coming in from Hadi just to stop them from touching. And now they have that extra 2.5 minutes bumped up.
That was a great play from Arise. That's what I like to see. Swap to a composition, you know, and then utilize its win cons very well. The walls were perfect. They built the Coalescence, use it to guarantee the cap on the point, as well as Dan 1 getting that annihilation done. They barriered correctly. Daisy, it's a pick.
I mean, he's just so screwed.
Yeah, not necessarily worth, as that's going to be a lot of free distance now for Arise. But I really did appreciate Leomnotrix's angle. He waits for the perfect timing. Doesn't want to use it in Hotel because of fear of the wall. Waits for the wall, then ends up hitting multiple. But Lieutenant Nest instantly barriers it, and that was so critical during that purple. And Arise, they're going to have Blizzard actually for this corner, maybe, if they get stopped on this first push.
Okay, well, rush into the corner. I mean, Card just instantly doming XCN as the Kitsune rush comes through. And they just look to hound down every other member here of Arise Project as they are corralled inside of the bookshop. I mean, knife going a little bit wide. Follow-up kills not found yet, though. So as far as daggers are concerned, things could definitely have been worse here for the side of Arise Project. But now Hottie going to be committing in with that Blizzard, looking to freeze them up. Will lead Optrix getting taken down, as will Blank. So good ult investment there right before death. Hottie able to turn the tides of the fight.
Really not respecting the Mei here. Yeah, you got the pick, but the Blizzard is out. They have wall. Now you don't want to operate past that corner. Make them come to you. Force their ults on that corner. You walk into them. Let them Blizzard on top of your whole comp. That's not going to go well for you.
Undersea is able to find XCN, but he is in a bad spot, and they are looking to hound him down. Blink unable to arrive in time, and now also finds himself in a bit of a rough position. Using that speed to try to get out. Does manage to avoid the icicles flying his way. As they continue to push all the way up in towards C right now, looking for these picks.
I mean, they have such a good opportunity here with Coalescence to just cap B. I think Insomnia are simply just going to give this. They don't have enough control. They want to operate on high ground instead. I say that, but they're coming back in.
They're pushing forward. Coalescence now going to be going through. Annihilation rolling as well. Daisy going to be taken down by the Discord Orb there from Y. To find that kill. Break onto Undersea's dupe as well. As things very much spiraling out of control here for the side of Insomnia.
The
push continuing to look good.
Is working out for Arise. Like, this is actually super good. It ends up being kind of a counter to what Insomnia is doing, and Insomnia keep pushing into it instead of sitting back and playing more safe, and this is just giving them free value. Achilles, I mean, this is the second time in a row they've lost team fights by pushing into a Mei instead of trying to poke it. They can swap as well. And now Hari's going to get around this corner. This is one of the toughest places for Mei when you're on attack, where you don't have line of sight with your icicles, and they're just not even able to contest it. Now, if they can get this Sojourn on the high ground and have an overclock, maybe they can even match the time.
Okay, well, good opening kill. XTN able to put Daisy down. Sound barrier still going to be held here from Blink, but Leonoptrix now eliminated means that even more space is bought for the push. Otto in a bit of a rough position, can't escape, ends up getting taken down up into the skies, goes undersea, but his corpse will flop to the ground. Push continuing with 2 minutes remaining. I mean, Arise Project, they might be able to just tie this time bank.
Yeah, like I'm saying, I mean, they have all the tools. Blink's sound barrier, though, is going to be their biggest enemy, their biggest challenge. Kitsune first.
It rushes out, sound barrier still pocketed. So for now, that will be Insomnia confirming a time bank lead at the very least.
Yeah, they're just backing away. I think this is smart.
Respecting the ult.
Respecting it. Now, sound barrier, again, if they could build their own, they can match it. They know that Blink has it.
Coalescence nearly online. Y about to have that one. Blizzard as well, just 15% away. Daisy with the pulse bomb, however, could turn the tides of this one in favor of Insomnia. It's faded into the back lines. Coalescence goes out, but there's the stick. XCN going to be taken out now. The sound barrier invested from Blink. Keeping everybody else alive as LTNS trying to get his own ult online. The dupe goes in, looking for the Mei, gets the slow here onto Dan1, just trying to take him out, but with the shielding, with the PO coming through, the rest of the team able to stand tall. Blizzard now out onto the point. The dupe going to be broken undersea, having to skirt back up into the skies, and with the beam, he's able to take down Hottie. Finding that elimination, so now down a player. Still looking to push through here. 2.26 meters left to go for the side of Arise Project, but Dan1 going to be taken out. The axe comes across from Leonoptrix. Instead, it's looking like maybe an overtime finish.
So close to finishing, but so much of a time buy there from Undersea on the Mei steal. Puts the wall up, ice blocks to stay alive, and now, unfortunately for Arise, their tools are down to a Ramatra Annihilation. That is really the only thing that's going to give them any stickiness on this point. If XDN could build his ultimate here and then get free line of sight, that might be maybe one way they could do this, but he is going to have to be a hero.
Okay, Rampage going out first. Dan1 still pushing forward, having that Annihilation pop, but he is completely anti. The fist comes up. They're desperately trying to pump heals into him. They're trying to keep him alive, but it's just not going to work. Daisy, in the meantime, finding the pulse bomb into the back lines means that Y is gone, and things start spiraling here for the side of Arise Project. 12 seconds remaining.
Even if it's a solo Rampage onto the only really sticky member here of Arise, that's enough. And they burst him down. They know he can't be healed with an Annihilation. That's your biggest fear. But they shut him down instantly, and this is almost hopeless now.
Yeah, I mean, it's up and over to the top. Then one does arrive in time to get that touch, but now they need the recontest. It's found, overclock, connecting there onto Leonoptrix, trying to take him down and out undersea with the dupe, going for the Sojourn as well. But he's playing up here onto the high ground. He's looking to whittle away at them, the Coalescence, really tickling this dupe Sojourn. Daisy going to be eliminated, but now Hottie and Nest both falling. The sound barrier in from Blink. That should just about be it. Spelling doom here for the side of Arise Project on this push. A good rally back A good attempt to try to make that Ramatra work alongside the Mei, but ultimately his XDN will be able to find a nice little parting gift kill in the back end. The overtime will bleed down, and Insomnia will move up 2-0.
2-0 for Insomnia. And I loved what we saw, though. On the other side, Arise pulling out the Mei in King's Row. Like this was back in like 2016, how everyone played King's Row for a really long time. We had like players like Nanohana, aka Flower, back in the day. Haxall play Mei here and play similar styles of comp to what we just saw with the Reinhardt, right? But with Ramatra, get on top of points, win those longer fights. Blizzard plus Annihilation is just, you're done. You're never going to kill that Ramatra, and everyone's going to get stuck. Then Mei's just going to pop off. Really sick comp, really good idea. But they weren't able to stick the landing in the end.
I mean, this was the thing that we were talking about in the opening series of today. You know, the Ramatra, we saw it coming through on Midtown. We were saying, like, it needs something else alongside it to really enable that brawl style, and that Mei is one of the biggest tools that you could potentially have to try to enable Ramatra as a tank.
You slow somebody up, they're going to get punched. You put a wall up, they can't escape. You know, this is such good synergy, and maybe they wanted to hide this comp and didn't want to show it. Maybe that's why they pulled it out so late. I don't think this was an on-the-fly thing, though. I think they've clearly practiced this, and they looked very good at it. So even though they lost, even though it's a 0-2 start, I feel like there's something here. You know what I mean? I think Arise got some more up their sleeve that they aren't showing.
Well, they might need to show everything that they're hiding at the moment because they find themselves staring down the barrel of a necessary reverse sweep if they want to walk away victorious. Otherwise, Insomnia might just be delivering yet another 3-0 match score. We're going to go to a quick little break, though, and when we come back, we'll have push to see if that's going to be the case or if this series can be extended, so don't go anywhere. here we are again. We're at a point where it's looking like it could just be another day of 3-0s.
We're back, and now with more underscores.
Yes, that is true. We do have double the underscores, double the fun, but maybe
more
just exactly the same number of games being played. Yes, so it's looking like it's going to be another very, very fast day. Probably the fastest day that we've had across any of the regions.
It's like a 3.5-hour day if this comes to pass the 9-0 day, which might actually just be what happens.
It could. Very well could.
I am hoping for a bounce back because I think that they obviously have it in them. Arise.
Yeah.
The composition we saw in Kings Row was pretty good. Not going to really be viable on Colosseo, although I think of the maps in the pool, maybe the first 2 points, like you could run Ramatra, or the first 2 team fights, you know, you could stick with that pick if you're winning and snowballing it. It could certainly work. So time will tell. I think we're probably just going to see Doomfist, Tracer, Echo, Mirror instead, though. And that's okay.
I think we might go right back to Junker Queen.
Junker Queen for Leonoptrix because he really likes playing it, and they're very good at it. I also just think that we're going to continue to see a DPS scam, because that's just been what the scam is about.
Yeah, I mean, Daisy and Undersea have been having a whale of a time, to be honest. And I mean, the May swap was good, but the thing that you still struggle with is having something to really deal with the Echo, which is kind of why going for the full send on the old style Ramatra comp with bringing in the Reaper as well can suffer. I mean, opening point on Colosseo, the ceiling is still decently high, so running the Reaper there still probably going to be ill-advised, but maybe they try it. I don't know. But I'm expecting probably more Junker Queen action to be coming through here as we get ready to go to Coliseum.
Yeah, not a lot of space on Colosseo, so a lot of this early first, second team fight stuff is all about the Tracer and the Echo poke and whether you can get that first elimination. But because there's not a lot of space, it's tough for the Tracer to dive. Like, you don't have a lot of room to work with. But also, on the other hand, there's not a lot of space for out-of-position supports, for example, to escape either. So positioning everything.
Yeah, it's going to be key here. But, I mean, you know, fighting back, looking better as time has gone on here is a Rise project. But is it enough growth in this series to be able to find the win and extend things? We're about to find out as we get ready to load up here onto Colosseo. Insomnia are going to look to send us home very, very early.
I hope it doesn't come true. I hope Arise pulls this off and that we end up going to 4 at least. But I'm not that optimistic. I'm hopeful, but not optimistic.
I think that's a fair balance to have. But we will get ready to jump into this one and see if it's going to be the case or if this can go to flashpoints. The game is ready. Let's go ahead and hop into Colosseo, see who's going to be coming out on top of Push. Okie dokie. For now, Insomnia giving a bit of a shout out to Nozzle and the gang.
And we saw in the J3 community tournament a lot of Ramatra, which led a lot of people to believe that it was going to be super meta. And we talked about how it's good at certain maps, and you know, if you run a comp that makes sense for it, can be quite strong. But it's really only been a Rise project so far that's made it their mainstay. Insomnia are going to stick with the same Junker Queen composition. But on the side of Arise, XDN leaving himself a little bit vulnerable on Sojourn. As Colosseo's early first 2 fights, not a lot of space to actually get line of sight. And as you can see, backline is where you're going to be trying to get access as Tracer.
Yeah, looking for that pile on there to Y, but he does manage to get out. So life intact so far. No one going to get dropped on either side.
See Sojourn here really struggling to actually get any line of sight on anyone's heads. Even building 100% on your railgun is tricky.
Daisy again coming away with the kill there onto Hardy. Taking him down, now turning his sights over onto this Ramatra, but takes a good amount of damage, so has to go ahead and backpedal very quickly. Hardy now going to be respawning and looking to rejoin, but Sticky Bomb's going through. The beam's going absolutely crazy as Undersea is going to swiftly, just in the blink of an eye, collect 3 quick kills.
As soon as they get a pick, they just dive. they press their speed boost, they run in, and then it's just a simple equation of Daisy puts people at low health, and then the execute damage comes out from the beam on Undersea each and every time. It's like the 4th or 5th time he's gotten a triple just like that. It's almost systematic the way they're doing this.
And his ult build time has also just been overall pretty disgusting. 60% built up now towards that dupe is Seraphi taking a bit of bleed damage there. Daisy again, I mean, I feel like I have deja vu. Melee execution takes down Hottie. Now looking for that enemy Kiriko. Fly with the dash out, does keep himself safe, but now the knife goes through. Dan1 going to be taken down. As the bot has continued pushing here for Insomnia, getting ready to reach the checkpoint already.
Yeah, that would be a massive checkpoint gain at like 8 minutes of time remaining. So 2-minute cap, kind of unheard of speed, and it's a solo push here from Blink as they are winning on all fronts right now. Undersea has his duplicate available, no contest whatsoever.
Okay, Slowfield thrown down, fists at the ready. Quick push back there from Seraphi, just trying to keep pushed away from Blink, I should say. As Undersea going to be quickly dealt with, taken out of the dupe, looking for an elimination there on Seraphi, can't quite find it. Knife comes out from Leonoptrix, is going to be able to find XDN. So far, just that 1-for-1. As the Kitsune Rush is going to be expiring here on either side. For now, the bot going to be worked back down the ramp, but Pulse Bomb out, not going to find the kill. Karu able to come away with one. Rampage now, burning through the enemy Lucio, and the Anzi, the bleed is out onto Dan1, so he ends up dying. The bot taken away for a brief little moment, but it's right back into the control of Insomnia.
Yeah, Daisy nearly gets taken out there on Insomnia's, or after Insomnia wins the fight, but he does live. And now, I mean, the robot's just rolling. 67, 68. We need to see more than this because, yeah, you can stop him from capping, but how many times can you stop him from capping? If you're just going to sit around spawn, they just have so much agency. Blink's down.
Yeah, does get taken out. Rail shot not finding the mark there, but Y able to get those good answers, so does get the elimination. Daisy, however, trading back, finding Y off screen.
I'm not entirely sure how that happened, but that shouldn't be happening as Undersea is going to come down here and look for some poke damage.
Parked up over the top, trying to get some sticky bombs there onto Hottie. Stop the Tracer from pushing forward, force out that recall. Forward spawn still going to be held to the side of Insomnia for the time being as Daisy forced the recall out, takes himself over to safety, and now just has that big ult battery of Dan1 as he tries to build up another pulse. Fists raised, just trying to mitigate as much damage as humanly possible here, but they back away, and that Annihilation not going to be finding too much of anything.
Clockwork here for XDN, or overclock, not clockwork. Clockwork Orange.
Clockwork Orange.
So let's see what he can get done with it. Again, terrible place to use it here on the neutral starting point on this map. Barrier is down.
Okay. Sound barrier out from Seraphi. Shielding now expiring from Insomnia as well. So far, kills not going to be found. The Pulse Bomb softening up that Ramatra, but not able to find the kill. So he steadily gets streamed back up to full HP.
I really want to watch
a bit of a race to try to find any kind of value. Try to find if they can build up towards those Kitsune Rushes here in the fight, and looks like Karu's going to get there just a little bit faster. The overclock not going to come up with too much of anything there as Karu stuck, able to just go ahead. Suzu cleanse off, stays alive. Pulse Bomb not finding value now on the back end. Undersea with the beam, taking out Seraphi. Dan1 dying in the front lines as Daisy is trying to get Honey, but he actually ends up falling.
Yeah, that was a bit weird.
Didn't have the bullets.
I said I really want to watch this because I just thought there was no way that XTN was ever going to kill anyone in that position with his ultimate. He couldn't get line of sight of anyone. Insomnia played so well around the walls there. So they used a lot of ults. Now a third. Going to be tossed out here from Y.
Ooh, Undersea, quick just pull back. Big disconnect here. Yeah, everybody just disengaging.
They have so much the advantage right now, and Arise just can't even break neutral, so Insomnia are just playing it slow. They're not hard forcing any unnecessary fights. They're just engage, avoiding, and by disengaging. So I'm just making up new words
there
now.
It is again.
Duplicate here, available but not necessary.
Ooh, the beam to chase, the health pack is there to try to bail Y out of the situation. Now with the push coming through, it's actually going to be a desperation dupe coming through from Undersea. See if he can actually convert this into finding any kind of sound barrier shielding, but it might not matter because Daisy finds Y. XDN going to be taken down in the meantime as, yeah, Daisy's just going through collecting all these low HP members on the side of a Rise project.
Echo is so broken, man. It's actually insane. He's just like, well, I just get a second health bar and then my team will use my speed while I do that, and then we'll just win the fight anyways. So even though I kind of may have made a whoopsie, it turned into a huge win. And Undersea, he makes a very strong hero look extremely broken as he does it again. And now we have a Rampage flank.
Rampage at the ready, goes through, connecting onto 3. Shielding just not there. Seraphi trying to stay alive. Does manage to do so far. So the kill's not going to be found off the back of the Rampage, and Hottie does collect a kill onto Blink. slowing them up even further. But again, Insomnia, I mean, so far out in the lead here, they're not going to be too concerned about this one, it would seem. You see dropping down low, going to be nearly taken out, trying to escape. That final punch, I think if Dan1 had actually just sent it, would have been able to get him, but either way.
I think so. But we'll get one pick. But that's not enough. Finally, they're going to put some distance, though, I think, on this bot. And the neutral, the Inoptrix, not back just yet. It's Daisy, man. He does it again. He just keeps doing this every time. 5
times in this map alone, just absolutely dipping him. Annihilation now going to be rolling here from Dan1. Everybody from Insomnia could just try to back away, and they are. Should allow for that ultimate to expire.
Every time it's catching them on runbacks, too. They don't get anything out of this.
And now it's a considerate rush out from Karu, just forcing them back, bringing the bot forward once more. Leonoptrix trying to lead the charge. Sound barrier going to be dropped in here from Blink as the Coalescence rolling through from Y. For now, just keeping everybody alive. And Insomnia, again, just playing the disengaged game.
Yeah, the tug of war that Insomnia is playing right now is so beautiful. As XTN's going to swap over to Cassidy here. Does have the Deadeye, but where's the angle? This is the worst place for this, unfortunately.
Gets Undersea quite low. Blink as well going to fall off screen as Honey is maybe getting a little bit angry. Collects 2 quick kills. Dan1 going to be able to take down Leonoptrix, and this dupe onto the Cassidy. Not going to be good for anything here. Undersea now just trying to escape, but will not be allowed to.
Okay. Bit of, you know, hubris, let's say, from Insomnia in that last fight. A little bit. XDN does get work done on the retreat there as Undersea decides to dupe to survive, and then that's another tool down as well for them. So Arise winning out the fight and also getting a big swing back in terms of ult economy, but they still have a long push ahead of them if they're going to make this interesting.
Daisy, he's trying to do it again.
He's just waiting on his runbacks. He knows them so well.
He sees Hottie and he's just like, yeah, I'm going to go kill that guy. But now in a spot where it can be safely contested for Insomnia, and so bonus on Arise Project to have to break through here. Still quite a bit of distance that needs to be covered. There's only 2 minutes remaining here on the map. They have to get the spot going, and they still have to wait out the checkpoint stop. Sticking to the back, though. Daisy able to find his mark. XDN going to be taken down. Soulfield sent up. Leonoptrix, however, not too deterred. Still ready and willing to push forward. Gets the knife in, gets the pull. Axe across onto Dan1, who right now is fairly isolated and getting whittled away at. It seems like Y and Seraphine will be able to keep him alive for the time being, but eventually Leonoptrix able to find the enemy Moira.
The biggest disaster, oh boy, Dan also down. The biggest disaster here for Arise is that they're going to have to use Sound Barrier for the next fight because they lost it right before Seraphine had it. And then after that's down, will they ever be able to stand up to a good Rampage is the question. Even if it's a solo Rampage on the Dan1, it doesn't matter that he has his ult. So Seraphine has to have an amazing ultimate here that wins them the fight, and there's just so many reasons why that can go wrong. And I'm super worried that this is going to be the last real fight that Arise get, and it might be what wins the game for Insomnia. I mean, there's such a long distance they have to push. They don't even really have control of the robot.
Nearly 4 ultimates to try to work with here. And Undersea's going to be taken down nice and early. A good opening kill from the side of Hottie as Daisy gets tagged up. See, again, just the call to backpedal comes in from Insomnia. They lose a member, just back away. And ult gets used by Arise Project. They back away because they know that they still have such an advantage.
Yeah, that's exactly what they need to do now. Arise also winning this very efficiently, so that's great for them too. So
Daisy's
big win.
Wave.
See if Daisy can find anybody on the back line here, because that just spells the end of the map, the end of the series if he does.
I mean, they're just looking for that double push. You can see Seraphine pushing in alongside Hottie to try to just displace this enemy Tracer. And they work their way into the back line. Deadeye out from XEN is able to find one. Undersea going to be taken out, and surprisingly didn't commit in with the dupe to try to get the iframe. Either way, Pulse Bomb in from Daisy will mark the end of Dan1, taking him down, meaning that Annihilation is not in play. There's just 5 seconds remaining, and they desperately need their tank. Damage orb getting sent out. Rampage going across. Seraphine, the only one getting caught by that, has the sound barrier in response. Still going to be taken low, however, and will get taken down as Daisy's able to find the kill, but wide, quick on the reply, taking down the enemy Tracer in exchange. Dupe now out, however, as Undersea goes for the Moira. Wants to be able to finish this one out in style. Coalescence, I don't think he's going to be able to build one up because Karu collects 3 quick kills. That'll be the cleanup. That'll be the OT bleeding away, and that'll be yet another 3-0 as Insomnia bring us to a record closeout here on the day.
Pick on to Dan1 was huge. No Annihilation on the cart. And then it's just Karu right-clicking them as they spam their way into the victory. Everybody just completely disjointed after the tank is gone. Insomnia will take the win 3-0. I knew they were going to be favorites today, but we just didn't know enough about Arise based on their earlier win over Hayabusa to really gauge their power level. And I did not think today was going to be this one-sided. We thought, okay, maybe, right? Maybe it's one-sided, but probably not.
I think I had a bit of a misfire, a bit of a miscalculation. in the power rankings.
I mean, Hayabusa, they are struggling themselves right now. So we have a very clear, like, top 3, top 4, and bottom 4 now, I think. Halfway through this second week of Japan, we have a really clear picture, I think, of who's looking like they're contesting for those spots to go to the big LAN at the end of the tournament, and who is got some work to do. Who needs to improve and work on some synergy, work on some DPS.
I think the most unclear thing is actually that second and third place position right now, because we might not even really know who it's going to be until we see Sixflow go up against Insomnia.
That's the big one.
And that'll be, the big separator there, with Beryl very clearly out in front at the moment. So looking forward to seeing when those two teams do end up clashing against one another. You got the schedule here.
Yeah, so it's the second to last game for Insomnia.
Okay, so we're not going to know for quite some time, and then their final opponents, the Namakuji brothers. So Insomnia have their work cut out for them. The end of their schedule is going to be
end of the schedule.
Pretty damn rough for them. But let's go ahead and see who our player of the match is. And I think that you could have a decent split here.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see who's going to win this one. But I think Undersea kind of scraping by with the win very slightly for me. But Daisy's efforts in that last map, they cannot go unmentioned.
Yeah,
so.
I think it's definitely one of the two of them. The Inoptrix had a pretty good series as well. But I don't think it was as much about him as it was the DPS players. So I'm leaning towards Undersea. I voted for him myself. So
let's see what it is. Let's go ahead and send it. Put up the graphic, and it will be Undersea.
Not Rob. As, the strength of schedule actually gets a little bit weird for Insomnia because they play against Nyam and Hayabusa back-to-back after this, so they might have three 3-0 stomps in a row, as funny as it is, and then it starts to rev up Revati, Sixflow, and the final boss, Namakuji brothers. This team actually could be one of the teams challenging, for top 2. I could see it. Yeah,
I mean, overall, I think they're looking pretty clean with it. I do, think, again, though, for Arise Project, I think that there is some hope here. Need a little bit more consistency and impact coming out of, I'd say XCN in particular. But I don't mind what we were seeing from them when they were running the Ramatra May. I think that overall that looked pretty strong. It looks like that's, maybe kind of falling into their strong suits even more so than when they're trying to match with the Junker Queen and whatnot. So maybe they could just be that team that says, okay, this is what we're best at, this is what we're going to be able to force. But not being able to really contain Daisy, to contain Undersea, that's where things very much fell apart for them.
Yeah, I think that the flexibility that they had and that they were willing to show is also something to champion, but it's a 9-0 day. 3 Overwatch continues here in Japan. We had it yesterday, we're having it today, and tomorrow we might have it again. See what we do have on the docket for tomorrow. 9 maps played with breaks and all, just over 3 hours since we went live. So this was very much a speed run day here for us at day 2. Kind of crazy to see, but of course we're not done with Japan quite just yet. There is one more day of play to happen, and that's going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow, we'll see what we do end up seeing, as we'll bring that up after we talk about the standings, where Pandia up at 3-1. Sixflow played their second series. If they 3-0, I believe they're playing tomorrow. If they 3-0, they can pass Beryl in the standings. Won't mean they're necessarily the best team, but they will at least get first place, as Insomnia jumps up to 5th with this win. One more win puts them up where we're really putting them in top 3. Yeah, I mean, things still have a while to try to, for us to see how things are going to shake out. So we'll have plenty more matches. But, yep, Sixflow versus Pandia. Let's see who's going to keep themselves near the top of the standings there. I think that Pandia so far in most of their series have not had 3-0s. Yeah. I could be wrong about that. Maybe there's one of them chucked in the mix there, but I'm pretty sure they pretty much always end up dropping at least one map. Yeah, they did 3-0 Namakuji brothers yesterday, but otherwise, I think you're right. And Arise Project versus Namakuji actually sounds pretty legit. Like, I think we have the top tier close matchup first, and then maybe towards the bottom side close matchup, and then the third one, Nyam, good luck. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be tough. Yeah, Nyam definitely have their work cut out for them. Insomnia looking like a very scary opponent, but I am going to be interested to see Arise versus Namakuji. Maybe if Arise just fully leans into the Ramatra, we kind of get the, two very unique flavors of compositions that these teams like to run versus each other. So who knows? Who will come out on top? Will it be Ramatra with his fists or Hog with his hook? I just don't think it's going to be as one-sided as it was today. That's all I can hope for. Everything else we get, I'm all for it. Close Overwatch games, please.
Yes, maybe some close Overwatch games tomorrow. We will find out. I will be back to bring you guys that action. I forget who I'm casting with. Maybe it's 9K.
It's not me.
I think it's not Wolf, but either way, I'll be back. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for more Japan action here in the Overwatch Champions Series. Until then, though, have a good night. Be good to each other. We love you. Goodbye.